Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast. Good evening. I heard me a little bit there.
Steve, can you hear me at all?
I got you, Todd.
Okay.
We might not be too loud going out. We're down there pretty low. We're here. We're starting. Another fun Friday night. This time it's playoff football action as we're set to tee it off where the Eagles will kick to the Bearcats in the first home playoff game in how long, Todd Warner?
30 years or 10,940 days. Since the 1988 playoff game here against Bellefonte, we hope we have the same result tonight that we had on that cold night in 1988. Steve, you got the opening kickoff here, and Peter Van Cise has got her teed up.
And we are ready to go. Away we go. Long kick. 15. Comes to the near side. 20. 25. Got room to run. Could go all the way and will if there's no flags. One man. He'll go inside and score. Not the way the Eagles wanted to start this playoff game with a kickoff return of 83 yards.
Yeah, or maybe even a little longer than that, Steve. I think he hauled that in about the 12-yard line. I couldn't tell.
Tyson Cook on that return.
It was number 35. And that's a terrible start here in Wingate, but there's a lot of football to be played tonight. And one of my concerns was the special teams. Last week, Huntington had a must-win to get in situation against Tyrone. Beat Tyrone 38-12, and it was punt returns and punt blocks that made a difference in that game.
Ryder Kochik is in for the extra point attempt with the Bearcats. Flag down. Not the start that Jesse Naga wanted for his team tonight. Dead ball foul.
So Steve, Huntington, Bald Eagle was the last team to beat Huntington. After that game, Bald Eagle was 7-0. Huntington was 2-5. The Bearcats had to win every game and get some help the rest of the way to get here tonight. They dominated their last three opponents of the season and finished 5-5, and last week slipped into the 4th seed and ended up here in Wingate. We're only 17 seconds in, and the Bald Eagle emotion is going to have to come back in a hurry.
Eagles, after that win in Huntington, 1-2. They came back here to Clearfield. 2 key injuries for the Eagles, which we'll talk about throughout the night. And then, of course, the loss last week at the halfway finished Rogers Stadium. But and a nail-biter to win at Jersey Shore. The kick is up, and it is no good.
Yeah, but, Steve, we might have a roughing the kicker running into the kicker penalty. So this game is off to a really, really odd start.
A very flat start for the Eagles, and that makes sense. There's hardly anybody here. I mean, I know we promoted this, that we were going to do the game over the internet, but folks, this is the first time in forever that we've hosted a playoff game. Why aren't you here?
Yeah, I'm looking around, and it is a sparse crowd. There's probably a lot of reasons for that. Number one, again, the 7 o'clock kickoff on a Friday night. The crowds have typically shown up late. This may be no different.
Well, we'll re-kick back to the original spot on the running into the kicker. So after that kickoff return for a touchdown, we've sort of been mired in a miss and a penalty. That one is through.
Yeah,
it's
that's
good.
dead on. So, Steve, here's the interesting thing. When Bald Eagle beat Huntington in Week 7, Huntington kicked off. Gage had about a 45-yard return on the opening kickoff. Bald Eagle's first play from scrimmage was on Huntington's side of the field, maybe at the 43, 44-yard line. Gage went up the middle untouched. So he ran the kickoff back about 40. Then he had the long touchdown run, never touched, straight up the middle. We lined up for a 2-point conversion, and we ran the same play. He goes up the gut, 2 points. Same thing. But 20 seconds in, we were up 8-0 down there. Huntington answered that and came back, and it was an 8-7 game for much of the first half then. But we'll see how these guys react. The Bald Eagle guys just kind of walking around right now, and it is a postseason.
Roberts and Turner will be back for this one with Snyder in the middle of the field.
Steve, as you mentioned, we have not had a home playoff game since 1988. We haven't won a playoff game in 21 years, and we'll talk a little bit about that through the night too, because there was a 10th grade defensive back / linebacker / special teams player, Jesse Nagel, on that team, who tonight is coaching the Eagles.
Well, he's coaching from behind, which he, I'm sure, did not say before they left the locker room.
Yeah, we'll see. Now, the winner of this game will play for the District 6 AAA title next week against the winner of the other semifinal game, which is Forest Hills versus Westmont Hilltop, and that game's tomorrow evening.
At a somewhat neutral site.
Yes.
Kick is away. Should go to Roberts at the 10. 20. Up the side. 30. Blocked by his own man and knocked down. But great field position.
Yeah, he was about one step there from returning the favor and having a coast-to-coast and putting us on the board. So let's see how this Bald Eagle offense does. It is a different offense, Steve, as you mentioned, without Gage McClanahan and Matt Reese, but we've been without those guys now for
3 weeks.
2.5 games.
Well, actually, it was 2 3 quarters. I mean, they both went down in the first quarter of that Clearfield game, and we wondered why there was no spring in the step, and then we looked down and saw it. Roberts will get the handoff. 35, it'll be brought down right there. Nice defensive tackle swarming there by number 55, Ryan Query, and number 14, Derek Foltz.
Steve, I'm not sure if number 50 is Isaiah Reed, I'm guessing, but
he is.
Reed is an outstanding athlete, probably one of the better heavyweights in AA wrestling, and he's only a junior, and was the all-conference.
Snyder in motion. They'll hand it off to Roberts straight up the middle. He'll get to the 40. Third down at about 6 for the Eagles.
We're going to have to keep an eye on Reed up front. As he goes, they go, and he's the center on their offense. And a year ago, as a 10th grader, he was the first team All-Mountain League center. So he is a very fine athlete. Really won 24-25 bouts last year as a semi-undersized heavyweight, but a really, really good athlete. Now the Eagles have a huge third down.
Jones in the backfield all by himself. 3 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. They show blitz. Here they come. Quick slant to Roberts, 40, 45, first down, 50, 40. Should go. No flags. He's going to be chased down from behind by number 55, Ryan Query.
Well, that's
thought he had that spring and that step.
Yes, Huntington does?
No, well, I thought Roberts had him, and Query closed.
A guy with a jersey number 55 closed. Good point, Steve. Great point. And this is crucial now. We're down here. Where are we? First and goal on, as you said, about the 5. Are we at the 5, inside the 5?
Ball is at the 6-yard line. Same formation as the last play. 2 to this side, which is the short side of the field. 3 to the far side. Turner seems to be the farthest out. Here comes a blitz. Jones will keep it and go up the middle and score. Nice return on that one.
So now what do we do? Are we going to kick or are we going to go for 2? And we are going to kick. At Huntington in the regular season game, after the first 2 touchdowns, we went for 2 and got it. 16 points. That's as perfect as you can be after 2 scores. And then Pete Van Sice was perfect on 2 extra points later in that game. This was a strong part of our game when we played them in the regular season, and we need this one. Very important to tie it up.
Low snap. Kick is up. And it is good. We are tied.
That was a beautiful kick.
9:56 left to go. What a way to start a playoff game.
What a way to start a playoff game, Steve says. Folks, I think Steve and I are thrilled to be here. A couple of things while we're waiting. In the season opener, Steve and I were up here, first time in the booth together in 2 decades. Brought back some old memories, but Bald Eagle played a AA team from Troy, District 4. And we beat them 50-6. That's how this started. It seems like last night, but it was 11 weeks ago. We didn't know how good Troy was. Well, that Troy team ended up 6-4, and I believe they have a postseason game tonight. But the importance of points in the district seeds. Had Troy gone 4-6 rather than 6-4, we would have been the 2nd seed tonight. That's how important it was that we beat what turned out to be a good Troy team on opening night. Or we'd have been in tomorrow night's playoff game, and Forest Hills would have been the top seed tonight.
And where would we have played?
Well, that's
Since
great.
apparently after hours you can decide where you're going to play a game.
Here, but who would we have played?
Well,
Westmont. So, and Steve and I can maybe at halftime tonight, because there won't be any bands in the field, maybe we can give a little bit of rundown, depending on what frame of mind we're in after the first half ends here tonight at Wingate.
We might be sending an intern for water if things keep going.
And I have another Bald Eagle Huntington story for you here that just came to me, Steve, about kickoff returns. So let's hope we don't have a repeat of that big run back. If we do, I'm going to have a flashback.
2 Bearcats at the 15-yard line. Let's see if Van Sice kicks it deep or squibs it this time.
Well, his last kick was fine. It was the coverage.
Oh,
and that's
Query, who rumbles.
A loose ball.
Loose ball. No, he's going to say he's down.
I don't know about that.
Well, there's no
replay in this.
There's no challenges. But that hit him instead of bouncing. It hit him in the chest.
Well, I think that might have been maybe deliberate. We don't know what the call was on that. But, the last kick was fine, and our coverage, we just missed tackles. We had him. He had an 88 or 87-yard touchdown return, but we had it stopped after a 5-yard return, and we let him loose.
So for the first time tonight, the Bearcats will start on offense. We're tied at 7. They have the ball inside our 35. There's this inside handoff to number 5, Andrew Finkel. He'll be brought down just across the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Bearcats come in 5-5, and looking at their team stats, 158 yards passing, 137 yards rushing. Per game.
Yeah, they're very balanced.
Pretty balanced.
One of the reasons for that, Steve, and I didn't look at their individual stuff, they've got Andrew Hootie quarterbacking now. He's the senior son of the head coach, but they've got a really good junior quarterback who's more of the dangerous runner, Nick Troha. And sometimes you may see those two guys on the field at the same time.
They bring a man in motion. Hootie looks to throw the ball, steps up. He's going to be knocked back for a loss, and a tackle is that Bumgarner. Right?
Well, if it was 55, it was not look like David Close.
52,
David Close. And Dylan Beisel was bringing up heavy
Somebody
pursuit.
got double teamed over on the far side to contain that. Was that Gardner that maintained that, or was that Beisel?
Yeah, it was. I saw Beisel out there in that mix. When you looking at who we've got in the defensive set now, and I see we have Ben Yetzko out here. Do we have Nate Hoover on the other side? Those guys have had to step up with the personnel changes that we've made.
Their biggest receiver, Miller, no relation. He'll be tackled. By the way, Hootie will be tackled in the back.
And that looked like Tyler Bumbarger, number
55, Tyler Bumbarger. Nice defensive stand by the Eagles that time. Andrew Miller, no relation, at least not as far as I know, because, the Miller family's from over there. My father was a Bearcat.
Oh, yeah.
So he might be a distant cousin, but he was spread out to this far side here. He's the one with the fancy shoes. That's the easy way you'll be able to tell him. 6'4", 180. Punt is away. High kick. Fair catch called for, and it's going to bounce into the end zone.
All right.
That was Jacob Wagner had a shot at that. He just sort of watched it. So the Eagles will take over to 20.
So let's see if we're calmed down now. 7:46 to go in the first quarter. We're tied at 7 here in Wingate. B.E.A.'s first home playoff game in 10,940 days. And Steve, I look at these ironic things. 30 years ago, in the regular season, we beat Bellefonte and we scored 30 points in the regular season game. We beat Bellefonte 14-0 in the playoffs. This year we beat Huntington. We scored 30 points at Huntington in the regular season. Let's hope we have another omen where the team we put 30 on in the regular season, we're able to beat them here in the playoffs tonight.
Handoff will be for a loss.
Or did he keep it there?
It looks like he did keep it. Sorry. I was trying to adjust that one gauge. You'd have thought that our technical producer would have had everything just perfect. But I don't think he did the volume test, did he, Shane? You don't have to say anything. I know school board people. I can take care of it for you.
I think Jaden had a keeper there, and we lost a yard, Steve. So now
Snyder in motion.
Yeah, I like
Jones
that.
flares it out to Roberts. Roberts has a move, and he'll get across the 20, gain about 3.
So what do we have, a 3rd and 8?
3rd and about 8, short 8, long 7 maybe.
At our own 22-yard line maybe, so. And as we said, Huntington, dangerous on special teams. We saw that opening return. I don't want to punt to them too many times, especially too many times at all, but especially from down in this part of the field.
Now 3 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. Jones, 3-step drop. Pass, incomplete. Roberts had it in and out of his hands. Nice play on defense by number 14, Derek Foltz. I got to say, it's much easier for athletic directors out there. I know I like to get prima donna every now and then. It's nicer if you put your number out beyond the grade. I don't really care what grade you're in because I have Todd here. I know what grade you're in. I'm worried more about jersey numbers. So Jones is going to kick it. Maybe. He does.
Got a
line drive.
And it's right out, a good return man.
Nice stop. It's that Turner. First guy down with a 2-legged takedown, and Cale Gardner came in to finish him off.
Now it's field position, Steve. 6:29 to go in the first quarter, and you know it's a little bit, when we talk back over the season, it's kind of amazing that we're here. Really, I mean, you said though when we left that night in August, you said, should we get out to Winter Parkas?
I did. I mentioned that.
As you were complaining about the mosquitoes in the booth here.
Well, we were down below.
We were
for
down
the first
below.
night.
And
timeout call.
Steve, you know, Bald Eagle in our history, I had to go back and look at this. I knew we had never played a football game in the month of December. Never have. And we're a long way from December, don't get me wrong. But we've only ever played one game after Thanksgiving, and that was that season 30 years ago. Back then, when you won the district title, you weren't guaranteed anything after that. So that Bald Eagle team in 1988 went 11-2. They won their 2 playoff games. Their semifinal here with Bellefonte. They beat Somerset on Tyrone's Field for the district title, and they had nowhere to go. The PIAA used a very simple Final Four system then. We were in a multi-district region. They used a PowerPoint rating system of some kind. And Bradford got the bid from our region, and Berwick ultimately won with future West Virginia quarterback Jake Kelchner. Berwick eventually won the state title.
I almost asked if that was during the Ron Paulus years,
that
but
was a little before
prior to.
But it was Kelchner who started at West WVU for about 3 years. He was there. So that was back when Berwick was reloading with Division I quarterbacks year after year. But we would have, had we got the bid that year, we would have played against NFL great Sean Gilbert and Aliquippa in the semis. That's who Berwick beat in the finals. So we're back in action now. We're on defense.
They bring a man in motion, hand off the other way. Nice play on defense by
Ethan Moore.
Ethan Moore started it. But here's the key so far that I've noticed.
David
Everybody's staying in their lanes.
Yep. Well, you know, I told Ron Bracken, you know, before the game here, when we played them a month ago at Huntington, they had the one scoring drive. And the rest of that game, they never came close to scoring. We had 12 tackles for losses in that game. We had one drive where they peeled off 2 or 3. They scored on about a 25-yard run. But they had a couple other big plays before that to get down into our territory. Before that and after that, the defense was spot on. You know, so hopefully that kickoff return has us spot on defensively tonight.
Here comes a reverse.
And here comes the rain too, Steve.
Still on his feet. I thought they had him. Where's the whistle?
No whistle.
That's the here's what I don't get. Are we into a week where we've broken up a group? Are they individuals now that have worked their way into district play? Because, you know, after the playoffs, how they split up crews, are we still having the same crew here?
You know,
because that was a late whistle.
Steve, I don't know that. I met their evaluator, Coach Wetzler, and the evaluator's right underneath us on the first floor. And he is a lifelong Huntington guy. But he's here evaluating the officials. Great guy. And he used to, they said that Coach Stoker used to have him come over here with his crew when he was an official because he was renowned as the top guy around.
3rd and 5 for the Bearcats. We show blitz. Pass. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Derek Foltz. That would have been a first down.
Yeah, that was big that he dropped that, Steve, because he was open and maybe had another. He might have had a lot of yardage after that.
Let's look at this. Watch him. Foltz was slow to get back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 4th down, and they will have to punt. And back deep for the Eagles will be Mr. Turner.
Now the rain's coming. Now the hanging on to the ball is important.
Oh, high snap. Kick is away. Nice punt.
Field it and save
Turner
us yardage. Good.
got it.
And he hung
Sidesteps
on. Okay.
one man, but it will be brought down at the 23-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will start on their third possession. Still in the first quarter, 4:42 left to go. We're tied at 7. Hey, if you're at home and you're warm, thank you for watching us tonight. If you're watching us the day after, I hope you enjoyed yourself while you were at the game.
Yeah, and if you're in another state, and I know a couple of guys are, and a couple of ladies maybe there as well, paying attention to the broadcast, we appreciate it. Steve, we're on our own 23, and we need to get out of there. We need to win the field position battle, and we need to take the lead here and put all the pressure on them.
Straight down rain. Jones will have Snyder in motion. He'll hand it off to Roberts. Roberts will be stopped shy of the 25-yard line. Gain of maybe half a yard.
Steve, you know the play we scored our touchdown on, the Jaden Keeper. I know you've talked about the lack of depth at quarterback for Bald Eagle, obviously, but his ability to run more of those from different parts of the field could be crucial here tonight.
Absolutely. 2 receivers this way. Roberts looks to get the pitch. He will get the pitch. Talk about defense staying home, Todd. Nobody bid on that.
No, and we've run the option this year, but this is not the option that Bald Eagle people from years gone by have seen, where you had 3 backs behind a quarterback. This is kind of there's a lot of risk to that. That play, I think, had a lot of risk, but we didn't really lose or gain anything there. I mean, until he got back to the line of scrimmage, but now we're facing a 3rd and long. We really need a first down.
Empty backfield. 2 receivers to the far side, 3 to the near side. Let's see if Huntington shows blitz. Foltz looks like he's coming, and somebody jumped.
Who jumped, Steve?
It's got to be an offsides.
Okay, so he hard counted them and got us to a 3rd and 3. More manageable down with 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
A lot more options on the wristband on 3rd and 3.
Yeah, there are. A lot more options. Now, see here we got Nate Hoover coming in, and we got Caden Bettinger. We haven't called those numbers yet tonight.
Hoover had a nice game last week at Bellefonte.
Who did?
Hoover had a nice game.
He had a great game at Bellefonte. He had a pick, and he ran out of his shoe running it back. And I mentioned both he and Ben Yetzko have really come on as they've had to fill. We've had to move people around.
Turner
and
in
had to
motion.
Fill big shoes.
Jones will keep it. First down. More. 40, 45, 50, 40, 30, 20. He should go. No flags. Touchdown, Jaden Jones.
I don't know about that, Steve. I think Blake Roberts ran that ball.
Direct snap to Blake?
I know you said that you
It was.
that was Blake. No, Steve,
That was a direct snap to Blake.
It was. That must have been. Now, I don't know. Coach Nagel said we'd see one score on a trick play tonight. I hope that wasn't it. We need to save it later. But we have a 13-7 lead. Now this is a huge play. These extra points, I keep saying, are enormously important.
Down,
And
up.
Does that one look
good
as well?
14-7 Eagles
So
with
now,
3
now
minutes
we need to keep
left
the
to go.
pressure on. Blake Roberts is having a fine night, and here we go again, Steve. Coming into the stands an hour before the game, hour and a half before the game, I talked to Blake's pap. I talked to him. The Silverdale man, you know where Silverdale is, up
I'm familiar.
just yonder beyond Julianne.
Yes.
And I asked him if he gave Blake any of the Silverdale Super Juice. And then I reminded Blake when the Eagles took the field for the first time tonight. He was one of the seniors I reminded last game on the field. In the first 9 minutes here, he's had a fine time with his last game on the field. You know, you got Cale Gardner, you got Bradley Cristani, you got Nick Turner, you got A.J. Markle, you got Ethan Moore. And I am good, and I have one more senior. Come on, Steve. Help me out. Who is it?
I have the list. I can just hand it to you.
Well, yeah, okay. Give me the 7 seniors, and I didn't mean to miss anybody, but I rattled
Blake
that
came
off.
into the game averaging 6 yards a carry. It's a little higher than that tonight.
Yeah, and Steve. Oh, and Dylan Beisel. How could I forget him? I'm waiting on him to get on the wrestling match.
He's
I didn't
at the
mean to-
end. That's
well,
why.
He's got the highest jersey number, but I told him before the Bellefonte game last week. I know he wants to go to Hershey as a wrestler. I told him he needed to play football for 4 or 5 more weeks. And he said okay. So I mean that's a good sign here too. So we now we need good coverage. Now what kind of kick are we going to have here, Steve?
I think you kick it deep now.
Kick it deep. Yeah, okay. We're going deep, Steve says. Oh, no, we went in between.
Pucci,
it's going to hit the ground.
let it bounce and slide.
And it's going to hit the ground.
20, 25. Nice.
And we ran by him, and there we didn't.
What a hit. Who is that on the bottom there? That's Hoover. Nope. Check that. 84. Lefebvre.
Steve, that is
the backup quarterback.
I could be wrong about this because we don't have like an official statistician. Is this Huntington's worst starting field position of the night?
Yes, it is.
So now is when we need the defense.
You talked about field position. Here we go. And we have the lead.
We have the lead in the field position.
With 2:54 left to go first quarter, Eagles out in front 14-7. Now a pick six, a fumble would be really great for momentum here.
I fully agree. I would take a 3 and out. But
they bring a man in motion this way.
I vote for all those things that you said.
Hootie on a keeper. Nice play behind the line of scrimmage. Loose ball.
A fumble. Who got the ball, Steve? Who's got it? We got it.
Eagles. Cale Gardner has the ball.
And one of those Eagles seniors playing in his last game here at Alumni Stadium with 2:46 to go in the first quarter. We've perked up. The rain's falling harder. And now you got to score, Steve. You got to score. I mean, and that offensive line tonight has done a nice job. As I say that as I'm looking at those guys, Caleb Burns and Bradley Cristani, and Asher Burkett, and it's Dylan Roberts and Ethan Moore.
Hold on here. Hold on here. Look out at that triple bunch to the far side.
Yeah, I think they're going to Nick Turner over here. That was my guess. Nope, I'm wrong. He
overthrows Cale Gardner.
Call. That was a beautiful call. Maybe to set something else up.
Did you see who was lined up outside? Asher Burkett was lined up as a receiver.
Was he a tackle eligible?
He was a tackle eligible outside.
So that could be the trick.
That could have been the trick play. Although that was a direct snap to Blake, right, Ernie? Yeah, thanks.
No, I don't know that was or not, but I see now.
If Ernie Green tells you, it is.
Tommy Snyder has not.
3 receivers this way, 2 in a bunch on the other side. Let's see what Jaden does here. They show blitz. 3-step drop. They're bringing everybody. Jaden's going to be knocked down and loss of about 8.
Steve,
and right away, we've called his name before, Ryan Query.
Yeah, Query and Isaiah Reed, and I don't know if Reed's still in the field. They caused a lot of problems down there. And I'll tell you what, Huntington is about very close to dodging a major bullet here, as we have a 3rd and 17.
3 receivers to the far side, 2 this way. The ball's on the far hash. Jones, screen to Roberts, makes the first guy miss. Second man, number 50. That's Isaiah Reed, comes in with a nice hip toss.
The wrestling back.
Yes.
Yeah, that's his. He's an upper body headlock and lateral drop guy on the wrestling mat, and there he collared Blake and took him to the ground. But a big 4th down play here.
4th down, we're going to go for it. Now the question is, Jaden could pooch kick this.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd do that. I mean, this is right where Huntington started. So even if we don't get it, if we don't lose
hard
yardage.
Count. Jones, 3 steps, looks, throws, going deep. Overthrows Roberts. Maybe was hoping that there'd be a interception there inside the 5-yard line.
No, I don't think so. I think we had a miscommunication, and Blake hesitated there and was holding his ribs in his stomach about halfway through the route, Steve, and now he's coming off, taking his helmet off. So we need to see how he's doing. I don't know if that was a in-pain issue, but he's heading over toward the first aid area. And in that whole change of possession after that fumble, Huntington picked up 1 yard in the field position, and they take over with 1:24 to go in the first quarter. B.E.A. up 14-7 in the first home playoff game at Alumni Stadium in 30 years.
1:24 left to go. Hootie still has it. Looks to go over the middle. Complete to number 14,
Fultz.
Derek Fultz.
Yeah.
And now they go tempo.
Yeah, this could, as we said, be quite a ball game tonight. We had a chance here to really put pressure on them after we recovered that fumble, and now here they are on the Bald Eagle 43 after a big 26-yard completion.
Roberts
Hootie
is
to
still
Foltz.
down in front of us down here trying to catch his wind, and that was a hard tackle he put up with. 3 receivers this way for the Bearcats. Hootie has a sidecar. High snap. Screen. Turned back inside. 40, 45, still on his feet. Pushed out of bounds inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. Another first down.
Kid made a great play there, Steve. That was a high, out of whack pass. And
Wagner was the one who caught
Wagner,
that.
yeah, their main dangerous guy down there. And he made a great play, and he picked up, 15 on that. And really, it could have been an incompletion. It could have been a disaster for Huntington when it left Hootie's hand. Wagner did a lot of damage there. 46 seconds left in the quarter.
Ball's on this hash. They have 3 receivers to the far side of the field. The furthest out is Andrew Miller. They've not gone to him yet. Under pressure. Hootie steps, throws, complete. Still on his feet. He's going to go into the end zone for a touchdown.
There's a flag here.
There's a flag down back here.
That's got to be, you'd
A
almost
hold.
think that's a hold. That flag came down very quickly, and it is.
It is a hold. It'll come back. There was an uproar from the crowd here in front of us. It's growing with their umbrellas. Maybe the screams just sort of are more audible underneath the umbrellas down below.
We got good fan support down here on that call. They saw that coming.
That was Wagner who took it into the end zone. He carried Turner
Yeah,
into
they're
the end
tough,
zone.
Steve. I'm telling you, they're tough. They're tough, hard runners. They've won Huntington in their history, and that doesn't help them tonight, but they've won more football games than any other District 6 team ever. 695 wins, counting last week's win over Tyrone in their history. They've been to the district title game 10 times, and they've won 6 district titles. We haven't been to a district title game in 25 years. A lot of history on the field tonight.
First and long,
wearing
here
white
comes a
jerseys.
blitz. Screen,
And we
caught
ran by
inside,
him,
we went
and
through
we ran
it.
by him again.
still going. Nice tackle. Who was that? Cale Gardner.
Yeah, and he's
Who
coming.
bring down number 22, Zook. And Gardner's a little banged up on that one.
Yeah, we're really out of whack there. We ran by that kid.
He's asking for help. Looks like his arm.
Is he cramped?
They will stop play with 2 seconds left. Unfortunately, that means they're going to get one more play in this quarter.
Yeah, they are.
Gardner is now down.
One big difference tonight, Steve. We have the lead. You pointed this out. Huntington's kids are breaking tackles. We're not breaking that many tackles when we have the ball. Huntington's kids are breaking tackles, and we knew they were tough. And I'll tell you, when you coming in here tonight, you'll appreciate this. Huntington coach is coming over there. I told him good luck.
Right.
Dead serious. They looked at me like, this guy telling me good luck, and I said, and by the way, thanks for letting Tyrone stay at home. And they said, well, we all agreed. We agreed with that. And I was just talking to the Huntington Daily News guys downstairs before the game, and they said as long as Tyrone and Central stay at home, Bald Eagle Huntington can be the Mountain League teams in the districts every year. And I said, yeah, I'm good with that.
At this level for sure. So second down and about 3. At the 21.
Well, they're going to, Hootie's got the hot hand right now, but if they bring the other kid in, Troa, a very dangerous runner as a quarterback, and maybe not quite the arm, but he can throw
Hootie.
too. Oh!
Incomplete, almost intercepted.
Yeah, almost.
They had single coverage over there, intended for Miller, his first target of the night.
Caden
Hoover,
Bittinger.
I thought, was going to get that one. Or is that Bittinger?
No, but Hoover had great coverage. Bittinger cut it off, and had he hung on to it, I think we'd have a 2-touchdown lead right now.
Third down as the rain continues.
Yeah, they're in 4-down territory here. 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Both teams have picked up the emotion a little bit, but Huntington came to play, as I knew they would.
Wagner to the far side of the field. They bring a man in motion this way. Hootie's going to keep it. Sidesteps one man. He'll be stood up and knocked backwards. Good defensive stand. The interior of the line is doing a great job for the Eagles on defense. 4th down. Now, what does Coach Hootie do?
A.J. Markle was in on that stop along with a couple
And
other
you know
Eagles.
what we'll figure
It's the end
out?
of the quarter.
They'll talk about it now that the quarter has come to a close. We've played the first 12. The Eagles are in the lead, 14-7. Solid first quarter, Todd.
Yeah, this game may be undecided very late into the game, and I've watched 2 of them in a row now, and I don't know how many more of them I can take. You know, last week at Bellefonte, and then the Jersey Shore game, and that Jersey Shore team was extremely physical. I mean, I only saw bits of highlights of the video of Clearfield, but Tom Gravish had a very physical team down there, and they're the top seed in the District 4 Quad A districts. We'll see here. We'll see how this one goes. You know, way before the game tonight, an hour and 15 minutes before kickoff, Huntington's kids were on the field in full pads. Bald Eagle, every team has a different pregame routine. Bald Eagle was on the field with their pad pants, you know, no helmets, Under Armour tops. You know, is postseason football different? I don't know. Right now we have the lead. Huntington facing a critical 4-4, and this kid's lined up to kick a field goal, Steve.
Well,
and you got to watch because Tro is their junior quarterback. The runner is their holder, and they've tried all kinds of fakes and stuff over the years.
It would be from 39 in the rain.
Well, they got to watch here.
And there's a fake.
He's looking, and he's going to run it.
Snyder, nice job. The wet turf knocked him down. Well, and look, he comes up a little limp.
Steve, here's the story. Here's a story for you. 21 years ago, we go to Brookville as a 7th seed. And when I just said, you said they run the fake, they run the fake. We go to Brookville as a 7th seed in a combined sub-region. We upset Brookville. Ron Hoover's the head coach. The next week, we go to Huntington in the mud, the rain, a horrible night. We lose 14-7 in a tie game. Huntington sets up for a field goal, scores a touchdown on a pass out of a fake attempt, beats us 14-7. So I've been down this road with them before. Now let's see if the Eagles can capitalize. Good field position.
Jaden ready for the snap. He'll turn, hand the ball off to Snyder, who's going to lose yards. Robert's still in the sidelines.
Yeah, I don't see him, Steve.
Helmet off. He's right down here in front of me. They've been working on him during that whole defensive series, and he's still getting one-on-one attention. Loss of 5, so it's going to be a 2nd down and 15.
And I don't think 14 points is going to beat Huntington tonight by any stretch. So we're going to have to get some kind of offensive synchronization. And I don't know what you can call up to do that.
They bring Turner in motion. They'll hand it to him. Turner's going to run right into the middle of that defense.
Is that Query
again? I think so.
No,
check that. That's Andrew Frinkle.
That was 5. Okay.
So actually, back to the original line of scrimmage.
Nick actually had a nice run there. I mean, he's not a regular back.
Problem is, he ran into a guy who probably works on the mats in the winter based on the way that wraparound tackle was.
Yeah, Huntington, like Bald, they go a lot of multi-sport athletes. Some kids play 3 sports. A lot of football players and or basketball players on the field for both
They
teams.
show blitz. They come. Quick snap. Nice job.
And
first down.
Caden Bittinger, and that was crucial that he got a first down there, Steve.
He caught the ball about 4 yards short. Let's think about this for a second.
So
he slowed down anticipating contact.
Well,
something to think about for later on in the game.
Maybe if you got the first down ashore, that is, you don't want to take a chance on a wet field losing the ball. And I know what you're saying. Tommy Snyder set alone back there with Jaden right now.
They bring Turner in motion. They turn, they give it to Snyder. Snyder back to the line of scrimmage and nothing else. 2nd down and 10. Clock continues to roll. We'll be under 10 when this ball is snapped.
So we may not see Blake the rest of the night. I don't know. He had a
there's
wonderful first quarter.
His helmet is being held by a first aid professional, which is never a good sign. Hoover's on this side. Now Snyder will be in the slot halfway out. Trips to the other side. Jaden's all by himself to get the snap. Jaden steps. throws. Almost incomplete. Flag down. Is there pass interference?
Well, on Bald Eagle.
Bald Eagle. How is that
Offensive
possible?
Pass interference.
I think if you're Coach Hootie, do you really take the distance or do you take the down?
They'll take the yardage there, I think. I wondered that too, but a 15-yarder and the way their special teams history is and their return game and their punt block team. Ask Tyrone, one of the reasons they're not here tonight is because of Huntington special teams play last week. So now we have a 2nd and 25.
Same empty backfield with 2 receivers on the far side, 3 this way. Jones pumps, going deep. Got a man. Got him. Turner. Taken down at the 20-yard line. Nice play. Nice move by Turner. Ball was a little underthrown, and he hit him in stride. Could have been a touchdown. But 1st and 10 from the 20.
That was a 45-yard gain from the 34 to their 20 to their 21 maybe. Is that where they're going to spot it?
That pump fake froze the corner, gave Turner enough of a chance, and he was able to get open on that. Ball's on the far side of the field. Snyder behind Jones. They give it to him.
He's going to have to hang on to the ball, and we're going to have to get some kind of misdirection, something up front there.
Blake's still struggling to try and get his win back. They did give him his helmet.
Oh, does he have his helmet?
He does have his helmet.
No mistakes down here, boys. And with 8:40 and counting, we have a 2nd and 11 at the Huntington 22, and we're up 14-7.
Snyder is to Jones's left. They show blitz from that side. They bring a man in motion.
Quarterback keeper.
Jones
I thought that was coming. Is he
sidesteps a man. He'll get to the 20, and that's about it.
I like the quarterback keeper call there. I don't know how that was supposed to go or the execution of it, but I do like that call. I thought maybe they kind of anticipated that, though. Kyler Cunningham coming in for Cale Gardner. We're going to be under 8 minutes when the ball snapped here. It's been a scoreless second quarter after a pretty volatile opening 6 or 7 minutes to the game.
Jones drops back. Now he takes off. They're spying him. Query number 55.
He's had a marvelous game here in the first half. We're going to have to get somebody to maintain contact with him, forearms to pads, chest pads, and keep him on him. Because now I think we're probably not going to punt. We're probably going to go for a 4th and long. And
well, if they tried it the last time, they're going to try it same much spot. They're going to do it again here.
A long throw.
Long throw.
Yeah, you would think.
I mean, they need to get to the 12-yard line for the first down. Now they're going to bring in 2 receivers on this side of the field. They're going to be tight. Now Cunningham and Hoover will swap.
We might burn a timeout. We're down to 5 seconds. I think
the rain
we're going to burn a
continues.
timeout. And we did. Bald Eagle burns their first timeout. That's a wisely used timeout with 7:04 to go in the first half. It's 14-7 B.E.A. Both teams have had a couple of opportunities here in this second quarter. Nobody scored yet. First quarter, quick recap. Huntington opening kickoff return, a big one, a dandy. Kid broke 2 tackles and then took it down the Eagle sideline for a touchdown. B.E.A. answered. The big play on the B.E.A. answer was a bubble screen, as you like to call it, to Blake. And then Jaden carried it in from 6 yards out. Pete Van Sice is 2 for 2 in extra points tonight. The Eagles' second touchdown to take the lead. We thought Jaden had the ball. Turns out you said it was a direct snap to Blake. And he broke a big run around the left side and took it to the house. Pete Van Sice's extra point put us ahead. Very interesting, though, next week, regardless of who wins this game, they're going to get the winner of Forest Hills and Westmont Hilltop, who play tomorrow night. Game's supposed to be at Forest Hills, but it's not at Forest Hills, tomorrow night's game. Westmont Hilltop, a running game, big bruising, fast runners, don't throw much. Forest Hills has a natural mud. Imagine what it looks like tonight. Field game got moved to Richland, or it's somehow scheduled at Richland.
Conveniently,
as Steve says. And now the Eagles have a 4th and 16 here.
3 receivers to the far side. Jones rolls this way. Looks, steps, goes for the end zone. Turner has it. Score!
Huge touchdown. This will be Nick Turner's. Nick Turner's one of those 7 seniors. 7 seniors that you said at the beginning of the year on that glorious night when the Tyrone curse ended on September 28th of 2018, Steve, a night which will live in, not infamy, infamy in Tyrone, but not infamy in my house. These guys, those seniors have bought in, and the senior leadership, and that's a big play, and this is a big kick, and it is.
It's good.
We are 3 for 3 with extra points. That's how he looked against Troy.
21-7, Eagles out in front. Back to talking about Turner and the seniors.
Well, the seniors, I sat down at Jersey Shore. Were you down there?
I didn't go that one.
Jersey Shore, you're beat. And if we lose to Jersey Shore, we end up being the 2nd seed in this tournament. You're beat. I mean, you're down by 11. There's a minute 51 to go. And I saw senior leaders that just wouldn't quit. They say this team is loaded with juniors. This is a marvelous junior class at Bald Eagle, and 2 of them are hurt tonight. But the 7 seniors, all 7 of them, I watched them on the sideline when they came off, like getting everybody up, and all 7 of them were crucial in that kind of miracle win at Jersey Shore. And the last 2 to touch the ball were the tip by Blake that ended up in Cale's hands in the end zone, and we ended up with a 24-23 win. And now here we are tonight with the top seed in a home playoff game. 6:55 to go in the first half. Huntington scored 17 seconds into this game on a kickoff return, and they haven't scored since, and you have to watch this.
Wagner back along with, is that Hicks, 25? Yeah. You're closest to us.
Where are you kicking the ball to, Steve? You keep guessing here.
I think you want to have it skip it to 25 and roll on this wet turf.
That's a good one. Are they going to do this kid kept the ball,
That's
and he's
35.
right up the middle. And
35, that would be Tyson Cook.
Tyson Cook, and they're going to start on about their own 38 or 39 with 6:46 to go.
He's a little slow to get up.
Well, Steve, that was a nice return. He ran past 3 guys, and then he dragged 3 or 4 of them. When that ball first arrived in his possession, I thought maybe they'd be starting about 10 yards further back, but they're in good field position, and Hootie's still in as their quarterback right now.
Wagner to the far side. 2 receivers this way. Hootie, they'll flip it outside. Now he turns it back inside. He'll run across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
Decent
and
run,
that
a
is
basic play.
Fickle.
And you look at this defensive alignment, and when you say Gage and Matt are out, and you see how guys have had to change positions. Asher Burkett has had an excellent year this year in the offensive line. He's been playing on the defensive line. He's been playing 2 ways regularly now. Ethan Moore, I'm looking for him now. He's a down lineman now, and that could be because if Blake's still out. But he had moved to linebacker for a couple of weeks. Now we have A.J. Marco in there. We've had kids really have had to move around.
I'm still trying to track him down. Hootie has it. Sidesteps one, but won't sidestep another. Loss on the play. Beisel, another tackle for loss from Dillon. That's how he started the year in that opening night game. Snyder will come in for Asher Burkett.
Yeah, and one of the Tommy Snyder has been for lack of a better term, a force all year at defensive end. Ferocious is what I would say. But tonight with Blake out, and in the last few weeks, he had a huge run at Jersey Shore. Against Bellefonte. A huge run against Bellefonte last week that put us in position to take the lead late.
2 receivers each way for Huntington. Hootie, 3rd and about 8. Under pressure. Steps up. Got hit as he threw it. It'll be complete, though. It should be enough for a first down.
Yep. Is that Wagner, Steve?
It is Wagner.
Yeah, very tough kid. They won't quit. And we were in position there to force a punt. And you see how Wagner, though, experienced, smart. You see what he did? A yard and a half past the stick and turned. None of this cutting short of the stick. He knew right where the stick was. Longtime teammate puts the ball on the money to him. They have the ball at midfield. And if I'm Bald Eagle now, I mean, of course I'd love to score again, but what I'd like to do is keep these guys out of the end zone with under 5 minutes left here in the first half.
Wagner to the far side all by himself. 2 receivers this way. They'll hand the ball off. Nice play.
Yeah.
That'll be
David,
could have been a loss on the play, but it got back
Close,
to a 1-yard gain.
These guys are getting ready for wrestling practice, although I told them they have to wait a month or more. David Close, outstanding wrestler, wrapped him around the waist enough, and Dylan Beisel came in and got him. And Coach Ronnie Gano's counting on those 2 guys in hopefully a month and a half from now, but whenever they get down into the legendary Bald Eagle hole for wrestling season. And over on the other side, you got Ethan and Tommy. We got our straight 4 across, 2nd and 9.
Hootie looks, throws, complete, first down, yes.
I think he's short because he came back.
Right foot, left foot.
Yeah, this guy.
Hoover with the shirt
short
tail tackle. They will mark him short.
Actually,
I thought he had it.
He is really dangerous after contact. It may not have been pretty, but we did a pretty good job of keeping him from going down the sideline there and making this a 1-score game.
He'll actually be 2 yards short where they place the ball. 3rd and 2 for the Bearcats.
Watch a hard count here.
As they send trips to the far side. Finkel is beside Hootie.
Yeah,
Hootie will keep it. Oh, they had him. He might still be
he's
short.
Still short. And, Coach Hootie might
But they're in 4-down
here.
territory.
Yeah, I think they are. You're in a high school game, a high school playoff game. You're down by 2 scores on the road. You're the hottest team in the district. You've won 3 straight games to get here
Snyder's
tonight.
coming off a little gingerly, Todd.
Who is?
Tommy Snyder.
Yeah, I don't like to see that. Coach Don Moyer, I think, whacked him one on the shoulder pad, so that tells me he's going to be okay.
Hootie is walking over to the
they're going to call a timeout,
sideline.
maybe.
They'll burn off more time and then call the timeout.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the coach is standing right by
Steve,
the side judge.
A little bit of reminiscing. Back in the years of your generation, my generation, we didn't have playoffs. Okay?
Your generation, we're a year
Steve,
apart.
I'm a year older than you, right. So it's our generation. We didn't have playoffs. So we go to Huntington mid-season. Huge game. Unbeknownst to us, the huge Central Counties football conference that used to exist, the title would be on the line that night. That game would eventually decide it. We go down to Huntington, and we drive up and down the field, and we score 3 touchdowns. Huntington is ahead of us 21-20 at halftime on 2 kickoff return touchdowns. After the Stoker Wishbone drives 80 yards, 10 plays for a score, Huntington answers with 15-second touchdown returns. That was like in the days they had a great athlete, Greg Wyckoff, a marvelous athlete. Coach Sellers was our coach. We go down there, and at halftime, Coach Stoker was like beside himself. Said, you guys are down 21-20, and they have 2 first downs. So he replaced the entire kickoff cover team in the second half. We scored twice. We outscored them 15-0. We beat them 35-21. But there was no more kickoff returns after that night.
What was the meat grinder like at practice the next week?
Well, it was okay. It was okay.
By the end, it was okay.
Yeah.
Look at this. Talk about wishbone.
Well, here comes a heavy rain, and
timeout call by Bald Eagle.
Yeah, do they have?
They're going to replace some small bodies with some big bodies because it looked like they were going to go power.
I don't know. That could have been Huntington's notorious for throwbacks to the quarterback. Back when Andy Rodeye was a coach here when I was a kid, they had a great team when Jeff Miles was a senior. Huntington went undefeated. They had a running back named McEwen, and they just pulverized all year. In fact, they beat Bald Eagle that night 49-26 down there. But my recollection as a junior high kid was watching them run this throwback to the quarterback who was all alone. Looked like Adam Sandler, the water boy,
right.
When he hit Guy, whatever his name was,
yeah.
And in the water boy. That same play. I've seen them do it. I mean, they've done it to us 3 times, so I'm sure they've got that stuff in in their arsenal.
You know, I'm really glad we have a new
Press
broadcast
box?
facility here
Yeah, I am
because
too.
this metal's going to hold that rain. I didn't think it was supposed to be this bad tonight. But, you know, it's supposed to get very cold.
Yeah, so Clearfield, we're seeing that Clearfield is pounding DuBois 24-6 in a District 6/9 sub-regional quad A semifinal tonight. There's no
Fourth
surprise
down.
there.
There's a flag. We were jumped.
Yeah, the hard count got us, and we're in a dogfight here. We're in a dogfight with the Cats, Steve. With 2:29 to go, they're going to have a first down on our 37. Huntington has 2 timeouts yet, and we have 1 left. So Nate Hoover's coming back in. Ethan's coming out. We're going to be set up in the front, and now it looks like we have Asher and David going to be here on the right side up front. That's Big Caleb and Dylan lined up over on what's our left side of our defensive alignment.
Turner's locked up with Miller on the far side of the field. One-on-one. Another timeout call by Hootie. We've not had a play in the last 5 minutes. We've had a penalty.
Well, might as well use him. You can't take him with you. You can't stockpile him. It's not your 401k, Steve.
Look, I get that. However, you got your best receiver who's got 6 inches on Nick Turner over on the far side of the field with no safety help.
Was that their best receiver?
That he's leading their team in reception yards.
Yeah, well, this number 3 is pretty dangerous. I know that
understand that, but coming into tonight, Andrew Miller, again, no relation, 561 yards.
Okay.
Averaging 21.6.
Well, he's our big play guy. Yeah, that big play
421,
guy.
averaging 15.
But Wagner and Finkel were capable of big plays, and I don't know if the other quarterback, the kid Troa, that was the holder on that fake field goal attempt. I don't know if he limped a little bit, as you pointed out. He's a dangerous running quarterback. Maybe doesn't have Hootie's arm. I don't know so much, but he didn't throw real effectively against us over there several weeks ago.
Back to single coverage over on the other side. Now they bring a man in motion that way. Cale Gardner will go with him. Hootie, fake handoff. He looks under pressure. It's going to be hit short of the intended receiver with the ball because he took a pounding.
Tyler Bumbarger, Dylan Beisel were swarmed in there, and David Close was right in the vicinity again. So
great penetration by the defensive line that time. The line has been doing a great job of helping the corners and the safeties with coverage because of the pressure they're putting on Hootie.
Stephen, this, other than the fact tonight that they scored on a kickoff return, this is about how a lot of that game went in the regular season as far as our defense is concerned. And we right now, 3 guys who were keys that night in our defense aren't on the field here.
Zook and Miller on the far side. Wagner is on this way. Hootie rolls to his right, looks, throws, steps, overthrows his intended receiver.
Good coverage by Benietzko.
Zook was the intended receiver, and the rain continues to fall. Who are you trying to call?
I'm not calling anybody.
Careful, you're going to get locked out of your phone. You make too many mistakes, and Apple goes,
oh, I'm sorry, that's not even my phone.
That's Larry Campbell's phone.
Somebody's got, I don't know why he's got his phone up here hooked up by me.
Because he's behind you making dirty looks.
Beeped, and
he can't understand why he's.
This is the main
phone.
phone. He's in the district finals on Saturday. I don't know if he's looking for whatever he's looking for.
He's right behind to ask him. We'll talk to him at halftime. Trips to the far side of the field for the Bearcats. Hootie has a sidecar on that side. Let's see what happens. Hootie looks, steps, throws.
Pick it off. Oh.
Intended for number 3, Wagner.
Sure.
Ball stuck up there for a while. Gardner on coverage, but nobody could react in time to pick it
off.
Now
are they going to go for it here? You
Fourth
would think
and
so.
10.
Well, you'd think so, but if you turn it over here with 2 minutes left in the half.
Well, they're going to talk about it.
They're going to talk about it.
Because Hootie's walking over.
Yeah, he's going to stay out there. And it's 4th and 10. And you got a 2-touchdown lead with 2 minutes left in the half.
And you get the ball to start second half.
Well, yes. It's a crucial play to stop.
Right.
If you're going to go to the next level, if you're going to go to Mansion Park, these are
timeout call
by Jesse, I hope.
Little family miscommunication there between coach and quarterback.
Okay, Huntington,
That's their
Huntington
last
probably
one.
if we stop this play or if we take possession, Huntington did us a favor there with that timeout. I would have thought maybe Jesse was going to talk that over. But, it's been a kind of a crazy season. Last year, when Bald Eagle went 4-6, got the 5th seed and back then 6 out of 10 got in, got beat at Juniata. The next week, I think Juniata got mauled by Huntington, I believe, in the playoffs. But I go down to one of my favorite places on earth, the Raystown Spillway. You think I'm a Huntington County resident, I'm down there so much. My son-in-law and I are down there, and here comes Isaiah Reed and the big number 75 who graduated, Huntington's best lineman last year. They were down there trying to catch my stripers, Steve, mine, So they gave me the report on what they were hitting and what they weren't.
Now, I ask you this quickly. Are they yours because you worked for the federal government for such a long time, Todd, and that's a federal facility?
They're
Hootie, under pressure, steps,
and he got
looks,
loose.
sidesteps,
Loose.
tries to throw it. Loose ball in the middle of the field, intercepted. And a flag.
Was that a
Is
sparing?
that Jaden Jones with the? It is Jaden Jones with the interception and a
he-
targeting.
Was it targeting on them?
Well, it was a shot to the middle of the back by number 3, Wagner.
And we were told
No, pass interference
on who?
on them.
Steve's on the call. What is the flag on Huntington?
Flag is on Huntington. They would be them.
Well, whatever happens to here, we need to make sure we end up with the ball. So, Coach Nagel will get in there. He's going to sort it out.
So the call is against them. Jesse says we want the ball.
Now, Steve, here's the thing. It's too bad we didn't just knock that down.
Right.
Because if we knock that down,
Ball's back here.
we have the ball out here in really good field position. Now we have the ball. Huntington's out of timeouts. But now we cannot afford you don't afford a mistake inside your 15-yard
Let me lay this on you. Blake Roberts
Just
gets
back in
hurt.
the game.
Thank goodness, because Tommy Snyder came off in that last series.
Well, now they're both on the field.
Well, that just goes to show how tough they are.
Well, they're tough, and maybe Blake's pap, that Silverdale Super Juice. You see, like the water boy, Steve, the little blue.
Hold on here. Who's getting the snap?
Blake.
Turner goes in motion. Roberts will go side to his left. He'll go
I'll
to
take
about
that.
the 17-yard line.
I'll take that. They have no
Sort of run on the wing
left.
tee.
The other thing is that gives Jaden a bit of a breather too, and he could use one.
Well, he did take a heck of a shot in the back.
And we were told you said he's an outstanding basketball talent.
Yes.
And we were told that he is going to have to play some defense.
That's the rumor. That's an inside joke. Roberts will keep this one, too. He'll sidestep a man, go to the 20.
Stay in bounds.
No, he was
or
pushed
he
out
got a
by
first
Miller.
down. Did he get a first down, Steve?
Be right foot, left foot, where they decided he is.
Yeah, this guy's moving.
They're moving
it.
So the far side man's saying, move the chain.
Blake, don't listen to me, buddy. If you're going to get a first down, you're good to go out of bounds.
And they're going to stick with this
okay.
Wildcat.
Okay, they've worked on it. They've worked on it.
Turner
Just
comes
make
in
it
motion.
clean, field
Roberts with a block. 25, and he'll go down at the 26. Clock continues to run.
Query again on the tackle, Steve. Now the clock's going to run. We have one timeout left. We're in no hurry at all to take that. And as you pointed out, we get the ball first in the second half.
We get the ball to start the second half.
So
and
no mistakes.
Time and points are on our side.
Right. So no mistakes. If we break a big play here and are in position to maybe score again in the closing seconds, we'll gladly take it.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Blake Roberts will not throw the ball.
Okay, I'm with you on that limb, Steve, and that limb better be a very strong limb if you're on it with me. So
Might be a tree trunk we're on.
Tree trunk, yeah.
Roberts will keep it, go straight up the middle. 30, 35, still going, gets a block, goes by Miller. 40, 35, it'll run out of bounds inside the 30. Should be 15 more. Reach in your pocket, buddy. He's 10 yards out when you make the tackle. What are you waiting on? He was tackled outside the yellow line. There it is. Now there's going to be a sideline call against our coaching staff. It's going to be a dead ball against our coaching staff.
Well, you have to keep your composure.
I understand that. However, they blew that call.
Well, they didn't make a call.
Well, that's why they blew it.
But that
here we go, dead ball. We'll stick the hand up.
But now,
oh, it's a sideline warning.
well, that's good. We'll take a sideline warning. We had one of those at Jersey Shore moments before we won the game. So now you see no more Wildcat. The Wildcat got us into firing range.
So now we have Jaden back in the game with trips to the far side of the field. Turner down here by himself, locked up on Miller.
And a timeout left, and a lot of time on the break.
Jaden looks over everything.
A good
rolls
snap.
This way. Looks. Turner went out of bounds.
Jaden did a wise thing there. He only took 5 seconds. He moved it a little closer.
22 seconds left. Ball is at the 21-yard line. And look down there. There's Peter Van Cise practicing.
Well, he entered the field with fine speed last week at Bellefonte, when they couldn't find him at first, but then they found him. So 2nd and 5 here, Steve.
2 this way, 3 that way, with a timeout left. Turner in the slot, directing traffic.
Use the middle of the field.
Jones steps, looks to
And
the end
he's
zone,
got
got him open. Touchdown, Cale Gardner.
Huge. Another senior Cale Gardner. And
wow.
Senior Blake Roberts, Jaden Jones. I'm not trying to talk up the senior class. They're going out, Turner's had a big game. Look at Bradley Cristani's speed coming off the field. A.J. Markle was in on big tackles. Dylan Beisel's been in the backfield all night. Ethan Moore's been swarming. It's their last game on this field, Steve, no matter what happens. And I could share the text with you, but I don't want to jinx us.
Snap, kick.
A good one.
Good. You know how you tell they're
He's
good?
4 for 4.
You look at the guy on the far side who shakes his head. That's how you know they're good.
I look
28-7,
at you.
Bald Eagle area.
I can't bear to watch. 28-7. I feel better now if we don't give up a kickoff return with 15 seconds left.
Let me go out on a limb again, Todd. I have a feeling this will be a squibbly dibbly.
A squibbly dibbly. Well, okay. That ought to kill 8 or 9 seconds, and they have no timeouts left. So we look pretty good right now. But a lot
Things
of
are looking better than they were 5 minutes ago.
Well, yeah, I feel better. A lot of football to be played, though. A lot of football to be played. And
is the rain still going at the same speed? So.
I sent the coach a bunch of texts. But my wife has coached me to not bother the coach with texts. Okay, so
now you just send him to the athletic director.
No, I don't send him. I only send him that one. But here's a thought for you. If Bald Eagle ends up winning this game tonight, that will be Jesse Nagel's 16th win as a head coach. Forest Hills has played in 16 District 6 title games. To me, that's
so you're saying that things are looking up.
Well, they're looking up, okay? So that's one thing.
By the way, everybody go out and get a Powerball tomorrow night and get 16 as the ball.
I'm calling it 30-year lightning, folks. But right now, we have 24 minutes and 15 seconds where we better keep the pedal down and play. And right now we played with more intensity in this game than we did at Huntington 4 weeks ago.
There are 10 guys within 25 yards of the ball for Huntington. Let's see if we can squib it over them.
We need to cover it.
Wow.
Well, that's a good kick far away, but it's going to a dangerous man.
On the edge.
Don't let him keep contained.
They have. He's going
contained.
Wide. Now he's going back the other
contained.
way, and he's not going to go anywhere. Great job.
The
kicker makes the tackle.
Kicker, Peter Van Cise,
with both arms up. Did you see that?
To the field.
We need to screenshot that for the Facebook page.
It's become a fine first half. And Steve, you got Coach Campbell back here somewhere. He's got his phone plugged in, and he's going to the finals.
Well,
and hopefully in 24 minutes and 4 seconds, the football team's going to join him in the finals.
Well, since he's here, and it looks like Huntington's going to take a knee based on their formation, they'll go into the locker room down 21.
Okay.
And that'll do it.
We need a good second half, folks. Steve and I think, Steve, can I speak for you? We're happy with the first half.
I am very pleased with the way things have gone so far. The people who made those anonymous donations to carry this game
Yeah.
are getting wonderful return on their investment.
Well, one of those, and you know who one of them is. One of them was a donation made simply in honor, ironically, in honor of Bald Eagles' 7 super senior football players.
That's exactly right.
And that covered about half the broadcast tonight. And, Steve, you went out and found somebody.
I may have known somebody who was willing to write the check for the other half.
And Steve went out, and the kindness of somebody put this broadcast on the air tonight. We say a 15-minute halftime, and I guess we are going to have – we do have a band.
Well, there are 2 bands here. I mean,
two bands.
They should bring them out.
Well, I've seen –
They made the drive.
I've seen different things happen. Hey, let's talk, and I know it's early. We got halftime to go. We got 24 minutes of football, but let's say this one holds up.
Okay.
Let's say we're going to the district finals.
All right.
Let's say we go for the
Kiss
first time.
of death, but keep going.
So you get Forest Hills or Westmont. My thought is, although it's not official yet, my thought is that the district title game, whether Bald Eagle or Huntington's in it, the district title game at Mansion Park will probably be Friday night. If not, it'll have to be in the afternoon hours on Saturday. The reason being, if you look deep into the District 6 bracketing, Bishop Guilfoyle in Class Single A drew a bye tonight because it's a 12-team bracket. Mm-hmm. So they're waiting on a game between Bishop McCourt and Homer Center. Bishop Guilfoyle has a quarterfinal game already on the bracket for next Saturday night at Mansion Park at 7 o'clock. So process of elimination, I'm saying, but you and I have seen before, we've seen 3 games played in one day at Mansion Park.
Well, that's the great thing about turf.
Yeah, so I don't know if we would end up because there could be another game in there. I mean, there could be who knows, that could be the site of like a Bellefonte Clearfield game maybe.
Fortunately for the teams that are going to play out there, and whoever they might be.
Right.
It's not the same as what they have to go through with the Whippeal playing at Heinz Field on that turf.
Oh, right.
I mean, that's a disaster waiting to happen sometimes. Some kid is going to lose a leg one of these times. I've been out there for a Pitt University of Southern Florida game, and you see Whippeals Friday,
right?
Pitt Saturday, rolls of turf, of sod, in the tunnels to get ready for a Steeler game the next day.
Yeah,
that is the reason so many schools are going to this type of surface.
Well, and here's the other thing that I've started to snoop around, and it's been decades since I had a reason to snoop around this late in the season about who Bald Eagle might play. But whoever wins a District 6 title next weekend, so it's going to be Bald Eagle, Huntington, Forest Hills, or Westmont. If you want to see a pathetic bracket, whoever is our District 6 champion, and they will be deserving of that, will face a sub-regional winner. And there are 3 teams vying for that honor. 6-4 Bedford, 4-6 Somerset, and 4-6 Westinghouse. That's it. 4-6 Westinghouse and 4-6 Somerset play tomorrow in Pittsburgh. Bedford, who lost to Forest Hills in a blowout, who's 6-4, who actually lost to Somerset. They're all part of that Laurel Highlands. They're sitting at home with a bye right now, waiting on the winner next week of a game between 4 and 6
so
teams.
They're going to miss the opportunity to be on either Funny Channel 10 tonight or Funny Channel 6 for the high school highlight show in the rain, because those guys, especially the Channel 10 guys, really like to bring it.
Well, in my perfect world, of course, Bald Eagle wins their first district title in 30 years. If that happens, my next thing I would like to see happen is Somerset tomorrow beat Westinghouse, because then we know that the District 6 champion will be playing the Somerset-Bedford winner on the weekend of the 16th and 17th of November. And the reason that Bald Eagle, Huntington, Forest Hills, or Westmont, any of them want that game, if you've got Bedford County, Somerset County, and somebody from District 6, the following week it may be at Mansion Park as well. That's my logic on that.
Sure.
If the District 6 champ, whoever it is, ends up having to play a 5-6 Westinghouse team, 6-6 Westinghouse team, how fair would it be for our champion from District 6 to have to go to Couples Stadium in Pittsburgh on a Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock?
Or would it be at IUP?
Could be, but no, probably won't be. Could be, but you'd think so, but they use it has to fall within a site that's within that sub-region's area. So District 9, Punxsutawney and St. Mary's aren't in it. So I'm speculating. I'm looking further ahead. Huntington's going to have a lot to say about that in the second half. And whoever wins this game, somebody in Cambria County is going to have a lot to say about that yet next week at Mansion Park. But, it's a great feeling that we can have this discussion other than some of the discussions that you may have had for a long time.
Well, when we started this in August, we didn't think we'd be here. Actually, you thought there was a chance.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And, it is a nice feeling to be here tonight. Hey, Larry, you want to jump in here or no? You want to talk for a while or not? Yeah? Okay, come on. I think you have to give up your headset.
Huh?
You need to give him your headset.
Oh, I got to give Larry my headset.
Yes.
Okay.
Since you took his phone, now
I'll
he's
let
gonna
him.
take
I'll let
back
him
your,
take the second half.
He has just at halftime here. Since we have no commercial breaks, we might as well stick around. Joined now by a gentleman who has transformed a sport, to say the least. Don't laugh. How many straight?
Is the winning streak up to
59
so
straight.
Yep.
And you play again tomorrow evening.
Yeah, we play 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at the Altoona Fieldhouse.
Altoona Fieldhouse. Good seats still available.
Yeah, a lot of room up there.
And help me, who's your opponent?
We're playing Central Cambria. They won the Laurel Highlands. They beat Bishop Carroll in their championship game last Thursday. They're a solid team. I think they have 2 losses on the year, 1 to Carroll, 1 to Somerset. We scrimmaged them the first week of the season, but we haven't seen them since. They had a chance to win the St. Francis tournament that we won last year, but we didn't go this year. They got an all-state hitter on the outside as a junior last year, and she's back, and they got another kid on the pin who's pretty good too. So that'll be a good challenge.
Your girls have done an amazing job this year. We're into playoff time now. Any tweaks? Anybody hurt? Anything we should be concerned with?
We've been relatively healthy all year, which is a big thing. In AA, your number of athletes are usually a little less than as you get the higher levels. So, we've stayed relatively healthy, and with our complete team intact, the only sets we've lost this year was a set in the first match of the year at Dallastown. Besides that, it was we lost 2 sets to Parkland, 2 sets to Hempfield, 2 to Baldwin, and 1 to North Allegheny, who are respectively in Quad A 1, 7, 5, and 6. So only the Quad A big boys have gotten us. But, in the playoffs, it's one of those things where, one day you don't show up. We had a good opponent last night in West Shamokin. It was nice to have them have to travel 2 hours and come play in our gym.
Right.
We faced them last year in the district final and beat them in 3 or 4. So, kids played well. We got Grace Hugar and Lacey Barnard combined for 30 kills. And when you get 2 kids going like that, it's kind of tough to handle as physical as we are.
When you play in the field house, and you've played there before,
yeah.
Is there one thing in particular you try and do? Is there some superstition in your mind which side you want to sit on, what you want to go for, that kind of thing?
No, that's one thing we talked about today is, girls, this is for them, what's it like playing in a district final? They don't know. They've never been there. This is our 3rd trip in the last 5 years, and we're the defending district champs. They know we're going to have practice in the morning. We're gonna take the bus trip up. We go eat a prime sirloin. Well, they sit around and I eat a prime sirloin.
It's only fair.
Yeah, the coaches enjoy ourselves, and the freshmen who feel like they're not going to get in the game, we all eat together and have a good time. And then we get over to the field house and we go through our routine. And to know that routine, it gives you an advantage the first 10, 15 points of the game.
Anything else you want to tell the Eagle faithful that are watching tonight and might watch it when they get home? Like, it's a better trip down 99 than it is coming back on 99. So they should come out to the field house.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a great atmosphere. There's the single A one's right after us. It's a great day of volleyball. You have all but one team is a state ranked team, and they're individual level. I think we're number 7 or 8 right now in AA, and it's a great atmosphere and a great time. And it's some high quality volleyball. Once you get to the semifinals in District 6, the teams start getting after it. And the positive, State College won their district. If we were lucky enough to get it done tomorrow, maybe instead of having to travel to some Cambria school, which we have through the last couple of years, maybe some talk, maybe being at Tyrone or Bellefonte, which would be nice, since last year we had to travel 87 miles to go play in a game as a district champ, and our opponent had to go 92 miles.
1 o'clock for your tip tomorrow. You'll be in, watch a victory, and be home in time for Penn State, Michigan.
We'll hope to be at home D enjoying the game.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us,
Thank you very much. Good time tonight.
Do you think I've never done this before?
No. Yeah, you've done it.
Okay,
Steve, I got the headset back on from Coach Campbell, and one thing I'd point out, Coach, you're off to the side. You don't have a headset now. You mentioned early season, Parkland, Hempfield, North Allegheny, and just from my tracking of I'm a firm believer that schools should compete in whatever their enrollment class is based on PIAA numbers. Those schools that you mentioned, because I've studied, those are some that I've actually studied, are all 450% or larger than Bald Eagle is. So when you're taking your kids to see, and I know that because it's a boys' sport, they say, with wrestling, but same kind of enrollment numbers with those same schools. Some of them are powerhouses in that sport. Bald Eagle, when you look at your female student enrollment, you may be looking at a number of about maybe 200 in over a three-grade group to get to the class you're in. And those schools are looking at numbers that are obscene, like 1,000, 900, and yet you're going nose to nose right with them. That's got to get your kids ready for what you're going to see.
Yeah, I mean, we play club year all around, and this past year we qualified for AAU Nationals down in Orlando. And we went down there, went 4-6, and of the 10 teams we played, we felt, I mean, last year we got knocked out by Freeport, the state champ. We felt 9 of them were good enough to be state champs at our level. I understand the size. I mean, I went to Pennsbury High School outside of Philly where I graduated with 1,057 friends. And, it's quite a class. I got my diploma and met somebody I hadn't met before. So, that is.
Yeah, and there you say that District 1 is filled with gigantic schools like that. That's a tremendous accomplishment. And I met you, it's hard to believe, 2008 or so. I had just moved back to this area. You were only in your second or third year here at Bald Eagle. And I remember I had a daughter who came out one year, had never played volleyball, was on your JV team. But I remember your opening speech to the parents the first night I had ever walked into a I've never been around volleyball a whole lot. And the guy pointed to the ceiling and said he was going to put banners up there with the other banners, and a lot of wrestling banners, some football banners, and some other banners. And he was going to put volleyball banners. And I went home and I said, well, his heart's in the right place. Let's see. Then I watched, like you did, Steve, over and over, and he got to a point where they just reload. And now he's only 41 Mountain League wins away from 100. That back in the season opener here in the press box, he told us the night we played Troy, he wanted 100 straight Mountain League wins. And I hope I live to see it, Coach. and I hope we live to see you guys bring home PIAA hardware.
That's where we're at. I think we're at a place now where there's probably about 6 or 7 teams that have a legit shot, and if we play well, we can do it. And if you run up against the wrong kid that gets hot.
Nice wins over West Shamokin last night, and congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Why are you taking yours off? We're not going anywhere. It's not like we're breaking for a commercial.
No commercials.
No commercials, just
2.5 minutes to go in the halftime show. The Pride of the Valley Eagle Band is on there. Steve had a great interview with Larry Campbell,
and
the championship-winning girls volleyball
don't
coach.
Forget, Todd, that our guest this week on halftime show, Larry Campbell, will get one of Ernie Green's pieces of red licorice. Following PIAA rules, that's all we're allowed to give him.
Coach Green's passing out red, and I dropped
fumble.
One.
No, I'm good.
I don't eat that. I got one. I only need one, Ernie.
Yeah.
We'll let that one there.
Here,
That'll be
Shane,
there
eat
next
off
year.
the floor. Have our camera boy eat off the floor.
The Pride of the
Nice,
Valley
Todd.
Band is leaving the field. 2 minutes and counting down left on the halftime clock. We should have a second half kickoff in less than 5 minutes. 28-7, Steve.
Everybody's slow coming out of the locker room because of the weather.
Yeah, and that may continue for weeks to come for the team that survives here tonight, and whoever continues to advance.
My eldest daughter played volleyball at a much earlier period here at Bald Eagle. That's where she suffered her concussions.
Well, Stevie was her name.
Yes.
And
it still is her name.
It is her
yes,
name,
yes.
yeah. And
she's named after her father.
When we moved back to this area, she was a record holder because the night I went to the first meetings with for parents of potential volleyball players, and I met Coach Campbell. I heard people saying, well, Stevie Miller had this record and had that
103
record.
kills. It's on the thing in there.
103 kills.
103 kills. She gets her athletic prowess from her mom.
Folks, that's the most honest thing this man said all night.
She gets her dialogue from her father. She gets her athletic prowess from her mom.
I'll give her that. I'll give him that too. So he's 2 for 2. Steve, we've looked good. We gave up. They scored 17 seconds in on a kickoff return, and really They had opportunities, but they haven't come close.
I think the key, Todd, is the way the defensive line has stepped up tonight. They are not allowing Hootie to have time to throw, and when the is able to throw, there's somebody making a play. Look at that near interception on the far side of the field that Bittinger sort of broke up his own player from getting.
Right.
You know, they're doing an outstanding job, and Jaden gets an interception down here. Jaden has played very little defense. He comes up with an interception, which in retrospect, we should have thought he knocked it down, but Blake Roberts adds to his rushing totals tonight, and boom, you know, they score at the end of the half and 28-7. That score is going to be what we talk about when we wrap this game up. That one before, that was I think that's the
nail?
The third nail of the 6.
Well, even though he's wounded, Gage McClanahan gave me the hammer and the nail nod on the way in tonight. I talked to him as he came in behind his teammates. So I sure hope you're right. You know, this football game, though, you can still go either way. I'm just thrilled. I mean, a home playoff game and we're up by 21.
I'll say this, the hardy, brave souls that came out to this haven't left, and the weather has made it very convenient for them that they could have headed for the cars.
Yeah, it really has. And this is the last football game. No, it's not the last football game at Alumni Stadium.
You have one on Sunday. I'm not sure if I can get here or not.
We have a dandy on Sunday. I expect it to be a physical battle between the interior lines, and that's the junior versus senior girls powder puff game. And I just want to see this one hold up as is, and then I'm going to prepare for the powder puff broadcast, and that ought to be a dandy too.
Now, what stats will you look at? Will you go back and review last year to see what the juniors will bring this year as seniors to the game?
The powder puff game?
Yes.
Oh, that powder puff game, Steve. Last year, this year's seniors, last year's as juniors, got absolutely clobbered. And this year's junior class, athletically, girls, I think, is as deep and talented just like the boys are.
Right.
The seniors could have a really challenging time.
Could be an 0-2 experience for the girls.
It could be. And you know, there've been a lot of one-on-ones. That's kind of been the tradition.
Sure.
My wife, who is a powder puff fan, of course, was actually on a 2-0 team. And she still has the jersey.
That's a testament to your wife, that considering 5 children.
Right.
Still can wear the same clothes.
Yeah, she can still wear the powder puff jersey.
I had 3 clothes. I only had 3. I had 3 children.
Right.
I can't wear anything that I graduated in.
Well, I can't wear anything I can't wear anything I wore 2 years ago, Steve. So you're in better shape than I am. But right now I'm wearing a Bald Eagle shirt, a nice one that the AAD sent up here. You have the same model. You don't have it on tonight.
I'm not wearing it tonight. No.
And I'm wearing this really nice Bald Eagle
wrestling.
Bald Eagle wrestling.
Is
slicker.
that a sport here at this school?
That is a sport here at the school.
I'm not familiar with that one.
And that brings me, you know, we talk about seniors, we talk about multi-sport athletes, but in talking to Coach Campbell about the size of our enrollment, consider this. We've got right here, we're talking football tonight. You've got basketball, you've got Jaden Jones, you've got Nate Hoover, 2 starters.
That's right.
I'm hearing that Blake is going to play basketball.
That's what we're hoping.
And he's a nice athlete.
I don't want to say anything. I still am president of the Booster Club, and I'm hoping Blake returns.
Okay, Steve, and I don't know. There's some other athletes here who could probably play basketball and may help, but
yes,
we have those. Then you look at the wrestling, and obviously Gage is hurt. Gage is a big name, big name wrestler, but you've got David Close and Dylan Beisel. I've got high hopes that both those guys are going to go to Hershey this year. You got Asher Burkett, who I'm not sure what Asher weighs right now, but I'm looking for him to. He really came along throughout the year last year, be another good upper weight. We've got Brady Proctor. We've got a number of kids who could wrestle, have been asked to wrestle, and they're going to continue that multi-sport recruiting. But Dylan Beisel, then he turns around. He's an outstanding catcher and power hitter on the baseball team. So you got 3 sport athletes, and we've got 2 and 3 sport athletes all over a small school. Bald Eagle. Now, Huntington and Bald Eagle both the same. They're both AAA in football, obviously, here, but Huntington's got a bigger enrollment than Bald Eagle. Bald Eagle, for the 7th consecutive week tonight, counting this game, we're playing a school that's got a bigger male student enrollment than we do. The last 3 schools that we played in the regular season, all much, much bigger than Bald Eagle. That is a difference. When you're asking a Huntington or Bald Eagle to play the Quad A's, we say, well, yeah, we can beat the Quad A's. Well, you can. Then you start getting good kids hurt on either team.
That's
either
right.
teams like these teams, and depth becomes the issue. Football's an 11-11 game until you start having depth issues. I mean, these guys, there was a time when Huntington and Hollidaysburg was like the war on Route 22, and there's an enormous difference between those schools. In Bellefonte, on the other hand, your favorite team other than Bald Eagle, Bellefonte played one football opponent this year out of 10 that had a larger enrollment than them. They were bigger than 9 schools that they played. We were smaller than 7 that we played. Huge difference. So I'll let you take there. Huntington's teeing it up, Steve. Bald Eagle's going to move from our right to our left. Steve's got the second half, B.E.A. 28-7.
3 receivers back for the Eagles, Snyder, Bittinger, and Turner. There is no wind, but there is a rain coming straight down. Second half underway. We're 24 minutes from victory. Turner, 20, 25. That's all the further he'll get. He'll be pulled forward to the 27-yard line, held onto the ball, and the Eagles will start there to start the second half.
And there goes Bradley Cristani and Ethan Moore, the seniors, Asher Burkett, Dylan Roberts, Caleb Burns, the juniors, the offensive line, who have played an outstanding football game tonight with a lot of mix and match and different combinations of skilled people around them and behind them.
Snyder is the running back next to Jones. They bring Turner in motion. They'll give it to Turner. Turner, 30, 32, and he'll get 5 on first down.
He did a great job.
Not a bad way to start the second half.
He stayed in bounds. Steve, did you see the rain's coming down? Did you see him cover the ball with both hands?
As soon as contact was made.
Outstanding, and they give him 6 on the board, so 2nd and 4. Wipe 30 seconds off this clock. Do not be in a hurry to snap the ball, boys. And Jaden Smart, he'll watch that clock.
Gardner is lined up as a tight end to this side. Hoover is the receiver this way. They'll bring Turner one more time. He'll clear it. Now they'll turn, give it to Snyder. Snyder, 35, pulled forward for a first down to the 38-yard line. The chains move on the first 2 plays from scrimmage for the Eagles. Look at Snyder. He's still a little gimpy there when he came up off that pile.
Yeah, I think he's fine, Steve. He is. And that was his best run of the night, and it was a good one, a nice combination. There's no need to be in a hurry. We've only a minute's ticked away here, and I'm watching the clock already.
Tighter formation now for the Eagles. Jones looks to pitch, gives it loose ball.
That's
not good. Snyder did not keep it.
No,
that was blown up right away, and that was not what the Eagles needed.
And that can turn a ball game around, and I don't understand that with what we had going on those first 2 plays, but now we got to play defense. That gives Huntington absolutely brand new life here. Just a minute and 15 seconds, a minute and 16 seconds into the second half, and Tommy's holding his hand down there, his wrist. That's a tough thing, and now the defense we got to play defensive football now.
Well, he took quite a shot, and he took more of a hit trying to get that missed pitch.
That was awkward and really rough from the start.
Handoff straight up the gut. 20-yard line is where the ball will be placed on second down.
Yeah, he got about 5 yards on that, Steve. And
Yetzko comes off. Now he goes back on.
This Huntington team's explosive. They scored 3 weeks ago. They scored 60 points, and they scored 52. Last week they put 38 on Tyrone. You can't give them many chances.
Hoover comes off.
No mistakes in postseason football.
Turner's going to match up with Miller on this side. No safety help. Let's see if Hootie tries to take advantage of that one-on-one this way. They'll hand the ball off inside. Nice job by the line. Falling forward for maybe 2 is number 5, Finkel.
So David Close wrapped him up again. They said they give Asher in on that tackle. I thought it was David Close.
Hoover will go in on defense, and out will come.
But those guys, they're not in there yet. We gotta keep them out of there. 3rd and 4, big play. 9.5 to go in the third quarter. B.E.A. up by 21.
2 receivers this way with a tight end this way. Hootie looks this way, pumps, goes towards Miller, blocked, down,
Great
stepped
play.
in. Nice job
Nate Hoover.
by Hoover. That was the perfect, we talked about basketball earlier, that's the way you defend the pass on the inside. He got to the side, stuck his hand in.
Yeah, he defended that beautifully, and now we have one more big play we need to stop, and then we come out and we need to play
4th and
solid
4 for
disciplined
Huntington
football.
as the rain continues. There is no wind. Let's think about that the rest of the night. Still no wind. That turf is going to get more and more slippery. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 this way. 4th down.
Gotta
Hootie
get a
looks.
rush.
He's going to keep it. He's going to be stopped short of the line.
Huge play. Who got him? Ethan Moore's getting up off the stack. Dylan Beisel's getting up off the stack. 2 seniors wrapped him up, Steve. Down he went. We take over on downs, a huge stop. And we need to see some emotion. And with 9:15 to go, and we are taking over where? On about our 18. So now we need some good ball control. And no mistakes. No more mistakes, guys.
They'll go with 2 receivers this way. Gardner will line up in the on the tight spot next to the line. Wide receiver to the far side. They bring Turner in motion. They'll give it to Turner. Turner, 20, 25, first down. He's across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Nick Turner stepping up huge.
Well, he looks fine for not being a running back, Steve. He peeled off 15 there, and he dragged Bearcats for the last 6 of those. He's got a first down. That's going to take us down under 9 minutes till we snap the ball again. And we have no play clock. We just got to run this clock. You know, we look good. Nothing fancy. That wasn't fancy. That was just a good block at the point of attack. The offensive line I've been very happy with tonight.
Line play on both sides, defense and offense, has been the difference in this game. They bring him back the other way. They'll give it to him this way. He'll sidestep a man and fall forward to the 35.
And that's
gain
a
of
good
about
run.
3.5.
Steve, you made what you just said about both sides, be it the line play. When we played them in the regular season, I sat by Ron Hoover, one of the best tactical football minds that the school district's ever had. Coach Stoker would have told you that. And
He went to a pretty good college, too.
like Homing, right?
Yeah.
That's it. So Ron told me before that game, which Huntington was struggling at that point, he said the biggest difference in that Huntington team and others was the physicality up front of their line. And that's what we've seen.
Jones sidesteps a man, has room to run.
Well, he does have room to run.
He's going to throw it to Gardner. Oh, he
I don't.
underthrew his man, and it's picked off.
Again,
Gardner was open. He just didn't lead him enough.
we've given the Bearcats now a second chance in the first 4 minutes of the second half here. I'd have to go back and take a look at that. I thought Jaden had room to run out there.
Had he pump faked, he could have ran probably 20 extra yards.
He
on
could have
that.
run, and he could have run right over to their
He would have had a
sideline.
first down and would have had a lot more.
Defense is going to have to play football. And Huntington comes out, breaks the huddle with a little more emphasis there. But let's see if that defense can continue to play as they've been playing.
Hootie,
There's
ball's
a ball
on the ground. Struggle
And
for is that Finkel?
Who made contact with him, Steve? Because once again, the usual suspects: David
Yes.
Close, Dylan
Beisel was in
Beisel,
there.
Ethan Moore. Asher was trailing that; it was away from him. I was really happy to see the flow to that side. And
Well, I was hoping, as wet as this turf is now, he got a pretty good bounce off that.
yeah, he did.
I mean, you thought it would have skipped a little bit more, and who knows?
This game, we
Timeout by whom?
is it an equipment issue?
Official timeout. Not sure what they're waiting on. Hootie's sort of asking a question. Now there's a receiver on the far side. They're forcing him to
Lace his
tie
shoes.
his
something.
shoes.
That was Wagner.
Now explain this to me, Todd. Let's just jump to wrestling because I have this opportunity. Why do the referees tie their wrestlers' shoes?
I don't know.
Is it that they're not able to do that themselves?
I don't know that we are able to. I always tied mine.
Hootie on a
There's
slant to Miller. He's going to be close to the first down. I think he's going to get it by where they mark it at the 45-yard
Well, this
line.
guy's on the line. This guy's angling that way. He got a marvelous spot there. He landed nowhere near the.
Well, the guy on the far side was right at the 45-yard line. And he's
now they
the one
move it
controlling
forward.
them.
They They got a first down there that I mean, they may have got it anyway, but I think they were.
Turner's matched up against him. And with the height differential, he just turns those shoulders, and that's an easy slant throw. Now he's up against Nate Hoover on the far side. Let's see if they see a steady dose of that. There it is again. Nice job, nice tackle by Hoover.
Yeah, and he's right there. He didn't let him. I hope Hoover's okay. He's hobbling a little. The Bearcats are still in the huddle. They didn't get a first down, so the clock's continuing to run. We have under 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter, and B.E.A. up still 28-7. Huntington's lone score tonight, an 87-ish yard touchdown return of the opening kickoff.
That's 2 straight slants that they've run to Miller. Let's see if they go to something else now. It might be a pump fake from Hootie. As they bring a man in motion, they'll hand it off to Finkel. First down, more, inside the 30 as they get a first down, and they'll move the chains.
Steve, regardless of what happens on this Huntington possession, if they happen to go down and score, even if they don't, Bald Eagle has got to not make any more mistakes. We made 2 mistakes there. We could have still been driving on that first possession.
Sometimes you get too fancy.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, sometimes maybe.
Now they bring 3
sometimes
receivers
and they're just high school kids. I mean, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of adrenaline still out there.
3 receivers this
got
way.
the lead.
Screen pass. Strung out nicely, but they'll get down inside the 20 to the 12-yard line. They had it strung out. Then he's number 3. That's Wagner.
Yeah, they're very
got
dangerous.
by the first guy, and then he was able to get 18 yards.
And they're not panicking, and they're very confidently trying to get back in this ball game.
Well, now that you've gone away from Miller, let's see if they get a one-on-one matchup again. Either way, there's a corner out there that's going to go one-on-one against him. This time it'll be Turner this way. They send Wagner over there, and in the slot is Zook. Jump ball for Miller, touchdown.
Now we have a football game. We've made 2 mistakes. They made us pay on the second one, and they're right back in it. And now I'm going to say we have another conversion in the rain, and this conversion is a very big play in this football game. They may go for 2.
Well, they're bringing in their kicker.
Yeah, and they got Troa, their running quarterback, as the holder, and he's also a throwing quarterback.
And Hootie is on the line.
This is a really, really big play in this football game right here.
The snap. It's down. Kick is up. It's good. 28-14.
Now,
and the mistake has cost the Eagles 7 points and momentum.
A whole lot of
momentum
things.
is
And now you have to watch things like onside kicks. High school football, as I said down at Jersey Shore, is a crazy, strange sport. They've got emotion over there. We're quiet down here. These folks, Steve, you need to get them fired up, or somebody does.
Well, here's the problem. You're up 21. You play not to lose.
Yeah.
As opposed to winning the game.
Well, I don't know. But yeah, I agree, but I think we're still playing to win the game. We threw a deep interception there that's a judgment call. That option, that's a real tough call. On a night like this one, that's not something that's been a normal staple of your diet all year,
Well, that would be the one that you ask him in the post-game press conference if we did all that. We just show you the action on the field.
Yeah, we do, and not. We're not down on the sideline. We don't know who might be banged up a little bit. There's a lot of factors here that you and I aren't aware of.
Everyone relax. Shane, get him on camera. Look at him. Look at him walking down there. Get him down there by the net. We have a Doug Dyke sighting down there.
Okay, so
can you get him?
Yeah, he's on there somewhere.
He's right down there by the
kicking net. Are they going to do
net.
something funny here, Steve? An onside kick, a blooper,
well,
try to get the ball right back?
We sure don't have the hands team out front there.
No, we don't.
And they're taking their sweet time. Let's see if they show anything off. A couple of guys are moving up.
Yeah, we need to
see if we get a good bounce. Nice high bounce for Turner. 20. Slipped. 30.
Is he okay?
He's fine. That's a slide into a base, basically.
Well, it is, but
turf.
it was a kind of a non-deliberate one. So now we're on the 30.
Fortunately, his buttocks hit the turf before his head hit the turf. So the Eagles get the ball at the 30. They need to move the ball down the field. A score would be nice to go back up 21. 3 receivers this way. Check that. They'll go to 2 receivers, and they'll put Snyder beside
Is that the
Blake Roberts.
Yeah, that's who I thought that was. The Wildcat.
Roberts straight up the gut. He goes forward for about 6.
Hang on to the football and take your time on those snaps now.
Well, the gloves that they have now are pretty much like that glue that you use to catch mice in. And they're unusual, but they're fun to play with because you can't drop anything.
Maybe we have a football made out of mouse skin, Steve.
Roberts will keep it again.
Need a first
Sidesteps
down.
him in.
Got
There
it.
you go. You got it. Still on his feet. He'll go across the 45 and go down at the 46. It would be nice if we had some rushing stats to see how Blake is doing so far tonight. Clock will start again. It has 4:43 left to go. Gardner tight on that side. Roberts again. Midfield, falls forward for about 7 that time, maybe 8. I'm surprised they're actually spreading the field that much, almost daring Huntington to go in tight, and then maybe we do see a Blake Roberts pass.
Well, I don't think you'll see him throw.
Well,
I mean, you
but
might.
if you get a guy unguarded,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, you might. I've had a couple of things that surprised me tonight, but
Turner in motion. He'll turn. Roberts slides forward.
real important to keep getting first downs here, and we're short this time. So we got a big 3rd and 2 coming up.
I would think you're in 4-down territory here.
Huh?
I would think you're in 4-down territory here.
Well, Jaden's coming back in.
All right. Roberts will come off gingerly, but is coming off. He's got to be close to 100 yards rushing.
We may be in 4-down territory. We just need to. We really need a first down here, folks, or something bigger.
Turner in motion to the other side. They'll give it to Turner. Flag down, let's say 5 yards for a procedure who wasn't set.
I don't know, but that makes it that much tougher. There's
3rd
another
and
mistake.
7 now, not a 3rd and 2.
There's another mistake. It's not a turnover, but
it's a drive killer.
If we end up giving the ball up in the next 1 or 2 plays, and it was a drive killer. No mistakes in postseason football. And they are only teenage high school football players, Steve. So we're down to he could wait till the 3-minute mark. He's going to probably take the snap sooner than that.
They show blitz. Over the middle. He's got him open. Oh, just off the fingertips of Cale Gardner. He was there.
And now Huntington, now we're going to punt.
And
now
Isaiah Reed got a good shot in on Jaden Jones.
Well, yeah.
That pass was just off the fingertips of Cale Gardner.
It was a great call. It would have been a touchdown. Now we need a good snap, and we need good coverage. Field position. We only have 10 guys on the field. And we have a lot of time, so there's a lot of time to get set up there.
Jaden will punt. Nice snap. Kick is away.
And a good kick. Cover it, guys.
Hits, skips. They'll get it at the 12. Far side of the field, still in bounds. Oh, no, not what we want.
Their special
Inside the
teams
Eagles 40, I don't see any flags.
No, their special teams are tremendous. That's how they got here, Steve. And now the defense really has to play football. We have self-destructed here in the 3rd quarter. And we've got to get the momentum back. We got to get the football back. And, we had promising possessions.
Right.
3 times here.
Opportunities are there. Opportunities were there for this game to not be 28-14.
Right.
Opportunities were there for this to be 42-7.
That's true. But now Huntington has a chance to make this a 1-score game.
Trips to this
with
side.
More than a quarter to go.
They show blitz. We left our feet. Wide open in the middle of the field. He'll score. Now, nice job by Bittinger to stop him beforehand. But our defender left his feet and gave Hootie time to sidestep him, make the pass complete to Zook. Zook has it inside the 5, first and goal for the Bearcats. And just that quick, Todd, we've gone from control to we're back on our heels.
Well, we're going to have to get off our heels. Again, whatever happens after this possession, you still have the lead, but you've got to turn it around. You've got to turn
Hootie,
it around.
Finkel, touchdown.
And now here comes a conversion. They've got all the momentum, and we've got to turn this around. You can't have a procedure. You can't have a fumble. You got to get the football, and you got to take it back down the field, reassert control.
28-20 with 2:35 left to go.
And, you know, I thought this game would maybe be decided in the last 6 minutes, but if you'd have told me we would be up 28-7 at halftime, I wouldn't have thought so.
Well,
but
just that quick, we're not.
Yeah, we may come around to that. This is a huge play.
Down, up, good.
Is it good? It's good.
28-21.
We have a 7-point
just that fast. The worm has
excited.
turned. Eagles desperately need to get a long drive here, and they need to put points back on the board. Rain continuing.
Yeah, the rain's continuing, and that's a tough thing for both teams. But right now, Bald Eagle has been their own worst enemy. I mean, we really have.
And now, if you're Huntington, you have the Eagles back on their feet. Now do you take the onside kick?
I don't think so. I mean, they might, but I think I'm playing, if I'm Huntington, I think I'm playing field position and going to try to get a turn of possession and play the percentages now. You got 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. B.E.A.'s once very nice 28-7 lead disintegrated. We punted, gave up a big punt return. Not a touchdown, but it led to one a few minutes later.
3 plays.
3 plays after a big punt return.
So Snyder, Bittinger, Turner back for the Eagles.
And now I don't know, you know, Blake's down here looking hobbled on the sideline again, Steve. I know he's played his heart out tonight. He's going to get a drink. I hope he's okay to get back in. He's certainly not on the kick return team.
Not on this one. He was out there the last time. Let's see if they pooch this one.
Yeah, sort of, and we need to field it. That's a live ball. Oh, we got a break there. We get a good break.
Problem is you don't get it at the 40. They just go back 5 yards and kick it again.
No, do we get it at the 35 or 40? That's Bald Eagle fans starting to trying to exhort the Eagles to get that momentum back. And, you know, we played, that was a mistake. We had a lot of big opportunities and big plays already here in the third quarter. And what we have to show for it's a 14-0 deficit in this quarter.
Well, I mean, just think of how that ball went off Cale Gardner's hands. He catches that ball, it's a 14-point swing. It's 35-14, not 28-21.
Yeah, but that swings. I mean, high school football, as I said, strange sport.
Jones turns, hands off, straight up the gut to Snyder.
Good.
He'll go and get 4. So 2nd down and 6.
We need to pound away here. We need to get a touchdown. We need to drive to a score. Because Huntington has now shown that they've come to life and they can score from about anywhere in the field.
They can turn it on very quickly. So it's important for points this time. Now will Jones be cautious with the ball, or will he be the same daredevil? Turner out in space. They swarm and will lose yards.
Yeah, they're really fired up now. And is Nick okay? Yeah, he's up to his feet. But we have third and 6, and we're one more Huntington stop here away from punting the ball away with a 1-touchdown lead as we head to the final minute of the third quarter. The Eagles need a big play. A 10-yard play would be nice.
All we need is 10 yards on this play.
You know,
They show blitz.
technically we need 7.
Empty backfield for Jaden. Jaden steps back, sidesteps. He's got
has a lot of room.
He can run
He's got a lot
forever
of
if he
room.
holds on to the ball. Keep going. Outside, there should be 15. Now there's pointing all over the field. Flag here in the field, flag on the outside. Now does this take out the whole play? Huntington kids are pointing.
They'll have a terrible time sorting this out, Steve. I can't imagine, as far as he ran and where the flags were, I can't imagine we're not going to end up with a first down out of this. But I don't know.
Well, they pushed him out of bounds.
Yeah, that's a
he
dead
was
ball
way
foul,
out of
so
bounds.
that's why.
That's not a good sight going
So
down
if
the
that
highway
block,
down there.
if that block in the back is backed off from down here, we're going to just have to let them sort this out. But the season actually could hang in the balance of how this one's
This is a
decided,
big
Steve.
call to see what happens here. Fortunately for us, we're inside where it's warm. Not a good sight. That's a second first responder going down past the school there, Todd. I think that's state police, the second car there. Okay, we're about to find out what's going on
Steve,
here.
give the call.
I think it could be offsetting penalties, one during and one after.
2 fouls on the play. Personal foul. Blindside block. Offense. And penalty 15 yards from the end of the run.
Oh, good. So we're in good shape here, I think, Steve.
A dead ball. Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. He's 15 yards from that spot.
So they will be offsetting penalties, but the run stays.
Well, what happened was they marked that block on us off from the spot of the foul.
Right.
So it was way downfield.
Yes.
And then, so we, till it all sticks. What we need to do is now not make a mistake. That gave us a great run by Jaden. Made the right decision that time. No throwing, just no mistakes.
Empty backfield for Jones. He takes a snap. Here they come. He throws it down. He's got a man wide open. Turner beat him on the blitz. Touchdown, Bald Eagle area. Just that fast.
Steve, I like your call on that. We're not out of the woods yet, but I'm breathing a little better than I was about 4 minutes ago. And here comes, I'm going to say it again, an enormous play. Because Huntington obviously can kick, so we have to be perfect on any conversions tonight.
Well, they've been showing that blitz over and over and over again. That time they finally caught him in it with one-on-one coverage out there. High, snap,
They were
blocked.
offsides. They were way offsides.
They
There's
came
gotta be
in
a flag.
from
that kid
down.
That kid was 5 yards offside, so I would think it's on. So now, do you kick it again from there,
Or do you go for 2?
or do you move it to the yard and a half and try to get a 2?
Well, that's what I'm
a
saying.
lot of risk there. A 2-pointer, if
Well,
you get it, is a great thing.
However, do you put Blake Roberts in there, run Wildcat?
You could try that.
Oh, I think they're going to kick it again.
Why would we? We're kicking it from a closer range.
That's worse for the angle.
Yeah, I think it is. It's a big play.
Well, they
34 to 21.
They're overloading this side. That's the problem. There they are. Kick down, kick up. No good.
And now the pressure is really on the Bald Eagle defense. Really on the Bald Eagle defense. Last week, 12 seconds left, we had the heartbreaker in the county seat. And we have a 13-point lead, and they've got a good kicker. We have a 13-point lead. Granted, they need 2 scores, but I've been harping on it all night. Every conversion for both teams is important. We're now 4 of 5 on ours. They're 3 of 3 on theirs. 1:05 to go in the third quarter, and now the defense. You need the special teams to step up and make a big play here, get the field position ready and set, and then the defense is going to have to deliver and not get burned on big stuff or some of the stuff that's happened to them here in the last 5 minutes. 34-21.
1:05 left to go
Great
in the
environment.
quarter.
The Huntington fans have actually, Steve, when you look over there on a night like tonight, a 5-5 team, they're great tradition. They've traveled very well. You look down here in front of us, there's as many Huntington people here as there are Bald Eagle people in the stands, I think.
Now, there are a lot of people standing now. They don't want to sit on the wet aluminum.
Yeah,
So the track is, since our track is finished, as opposed to one 3 miles away, where you can hold football games properly, that enjoy yourselves tomorrow, Raider Nation.
Steve's digging at the Raiders, and
look, you played
the
all
Raiders
year
are,
away.
The Raiders are about the farthest thing from my mind right now. I'm just.
I have to
see
get it
the
in while I have a
Eagles
chance.
stiffen here and
We
be
have a
tough
down.
for 13
There's
minutes and 5
downtime.
seconds.
I'm getting it in while I can.
Okay.
All right. I
Downtime.
made sure we could do this game tonight. I'm making sure I say my piece.
Steve, what do you got for the kick? Since you're going to say your piece, give me the piece on this kick.
I'm going to say right now, you want to have it skip and slide back there. You don't want to have it in the air to go back there deep. And they'll kick it high.
To a dangerous guy.
Fumbled. That's what you need help with. Now you need to stay in your lanes.
Yeah, you do.
They're trying to break containment. He had that ball out there pretty far. They'll get it to 20.
57 seconds to go.
It was Wagner who had the ball out there, and he was one pop away from losing that ball down in that end of the field.
Steve, this is Huntington's worst second-half field position starting point. We made a couple errors that gave them really good field position, both on the offensive side and our special teams. There we had good special teams play, good kick, and they botched it a little bit, and they only got a 5-yard return. You got the call, Steve.
Wagner's on this side. Miller's on the far side. Zook's in the slot. Hootie sets up a screen. Slips one tackle. Cale Gardner tries to tackle the ball. Nice job. But it'll be a gain of about 4.
Who's that? A.J. Markle. A.J. Markle did a good job staying at home there. Ethan Moore did too. They blew that. Could have been a huge play for Huntington. We have under half a minute left in the third quarter. Huntington's got a 2nd and 7 at their own 23, and B.E.A. has a 13-point lead.
2 receivers to the far side, one this way, one in at tight end, and he has a receiver. Now they'll bring the man in motion to that side. They'll go inside handoff this way, steps outside, it's Finkel. He's got a first down and more, and making the tackles, Jaden Jones. How about that? Jones can play defense. He's come up with a big tackle on that play and an interception earlier. Big first down, though, Todd. And
huge
5
first down.
seconds left because the clock will stop for the first down.
Yeah.
12 minutes and 5 seconds left in this game. Two receivers to the far side. Zook. Handoff inside to Finkel. Finkel fights forward. Gains about 3. Ball's at the 49-yard line. And that will be the end of the third quarter. Eagles out in front, 34-21 after 12 minutes of football left to go here at Alumni Stadium. Eagles need a defensive stop. Looks like the rain's slowing down, Shane. Two turnovers, the difference in this game in the third quarter. An interception and a missed pitch on the option play. See, Shane, if Doug was up here, I would say make notes of the cheerleaders wearing raincoats and which ones weren't, because by Thursday you'll see who has a cold and is going to miss a day of school, as opposed to the ones wearing the raincoats that are smart. Second and 7. Bearcats will start at their 49. Andrew Miller split out to this side, which is the far wide side of the field, closest to us. Straight up the middle, short of the first down. It'll be Finkel. third down and about 3 for the Bearcats. Big third down here. Let's see. Ball's on the far hash. They've taken advantage a couple of times of Miller with slants. Let's see if they try this again on third down to get another first down. They'll bring Zook this way and Wagner. Miller on the other side. There's a throw to Miller. First down, 39-yard line for the Bearcats. Wasn't really a slant that time. It's sort of just a turn in. And the Bearcats move the chains one more time. Clock running, 11:18 left to go. Eagles need to stop. Ball's on the far hash. Now they'll have 2 receivers out wide, 1 tight to the formation. They'll bring a man in motion. That's Zook. Hootie steps, throws over the middle, complete. First down to number 14, Foltz. Ball spotted at the 26. Methodical drive by the Bearcats this time. Hootie had time on play action. 10:40 left to go. Ball's in the middle of the field. 2 receivers this way. Now Wagner's out by himself on the far side. One-on-one with Turner. Hootie turns, hands the ball off to Finkel. Finkel's going to lose 3 yards. Back to the 31-yard line. Not sure how that works out. They stopped him behind the 30, but the ball's there. How's that work? Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Miller out here by himself. Hoover has him. Trips to the far side. Finkel is this way. They bring a man in motion. They'll give it to Finkel. He's going to follow a block. Bechtel. No, check that. Cale Gardner with the stop. Ball will be placed at the 24-yard line. Third down and 8. 4 down territory as the Bearcats are down 2 scores. Clock continues to run. We're under 9.5 left to go. This is a big third down play. They'll send Miller to the far side of the field. Turner has him. 2 receivers this way. Ball's in the middle of the field. Hootie, 3 steps, turns. Incomplete, huge play. And that was all on Hootie as he bangs his hand off of his helmet. He had him. He would have been short of the first down, but he skipped that pass, Todd. And now it's 4th down and about 7.
Well, can you stop a 4th down play with 9 minutes left?
That's going to be one of the keys to the rest of this game. I'm surprised they didn't run the ball there to set up a shorter 4th down play. No, you're in 4 down territory.
Was this trick play time? Is this throwback time? Halfback option pass time? Or screen? Or something more basic, Well, maybe your matchup out here.
Hoover against Miller out here on this side. Hootie rolls to his side, steps inside, under pressure, had a man open, over, throws him, no flags. No flags on the play, and the Eagles will get that on the turnover on downs. That was just a bad pass.
Yeah, but it was. And he's right-handed. He was rolling to his right, but good pressure through the timing on where he thought his receiver would be on that, and he aired one out. And I'll take that right now with 9:08 to go. And what kind of an offensive configuration have we got in here now?
It appears like Jaden will be in at quarterback. Blake Roberts will be his running back. 2 receivers to the far side. Snyder is in the slot on the far side. Now they bring him in motion. They turn. Roberts has got a block. 25, 30, room to run. 40, 50, steps aside a man, cuts across again. 40, spins down at the 39-yard line. We have a referee down.
Oh, we don't
who
want
lost his hat, but a huge run for Blake Roberts.
A 37-yarder, Steve. beautifully executed up front, and now no mistakes. And he stayed in bounds, so let the clock start running, guys.
Well, what he did was he let the momentum of the Bearcats
Go past him.
The problem was they caught up to him of the people that he had blown by earlier. But he did turn it inside nicely. Great run by Blake. He's leaving this field with his best night ever of rushing.
Last game for these seniors on this field. I want to see him
Turner
go
in
out on
motion.
top.
They turn. They give it to Snyder.
He's
Snyder
holding
will
onto the
fall
ball.
forward, gain about 2.
And we need to watch this play clock. Huntington's got 3 timeouts left. This ball, the next snap should happen with under 8 minutes to go. And we're on about, the Huntington 39. So they didn't give him much of anything on that, Steve. But now we have Zach Weibel in the game.
Zach Weibel in, Snyder out. Jones. Killing clock.
That's good.
Turner in motion. They'll turn. They'll give it to Snyder. I'm sorry. Not
Nick
Snyder.
Turner.
That's Turner.
Protected the ball well, got a couple of yards. We're going to have
Stayed
about
in
3rd
bounds.
and 7, Steve. And he
Nate-
stayed in bounds.
Nate Hoover's out there all by himself going, where are we going?
Well, they haven't even started the 25-second clock yet. And with a 2-score lead, 2-score minus the extra point, it's important that we let this thing, we hold our stance, we stay real patient.
Tight bunch this way with 2 receivers, Bittinger and Turner. Weibel still the back. They bring Turner in motion. They'll give it to him again. Turner sidesteps a man, but he's going to be stopped at the 35-yard line. Thought he had that first man beat, but it was a tackle, nice tackle. Was that 58 Zimmerman making that tackle? 4th down.
I think we're going for it here, Steve.
Weibel comes off. Snyder goes on.
Is Jaden going to go hard count and try to draw him off sides?
Well, they have 3 receivers on this side. The ball is on the almost to the far hash.
Play clock's down to 10 seconds. And I wouldn't play that. Well, I guess we're going to. Or are we going to call timeout?
They will call a
Okay,
timeout.
good. 6:17 to go, Steve. 4th and 5 on the Huntington 34. The big 37-yard run by Blake Roberts off right tackle got us in this position on the field after your call on the 4th down stop, 3rd and 4th down stops that Huntington was, driving. They were to Bald Eagle 25, and they'd had a couple first downs. B.E.A. now has 2 timeouts left. Can we, first of all, what do you do here with 6 and a little bit over 6 minutes left? 13-point lead, a first down here. If you protect the ball, you might be able to kill 2 or 3 more minutes.
They're in a position where they've not been in how many years?
We haven't won a playoff game in 21 years. Ironically, that score was 34-27 that night. This is 34-21. This is only the second home playoff game in Bald Eagle history, the first one in 30 years. 10,940 days or 262,560 hours. And Blake is going in with Jaden in the backfield, and Steve take it. A
Tight
huge
bunch
play.
formation on 4th and 5. They'll switch Gardner and Snyder.
And they still have a lot of time on the play clock. So plenty of time.
4th down. Penalty procedure against the Eagles. I don't think he was supposed to snap the ball.
Now are we going to punt?
Now I think you have to pooch it.
Do you put this game in the hands of your defense? Punt team's coming on, Steve. No mistakes.
I don't
No
think
huge returns, and giving up a huge return is a mistake.
Well, the great thing on a punt is you can kick it out of bounds. Kick it as far as you can, but kick it out of bounds. Don't let them return it.
In a game filled tonight with huge momentum shifts and huge changes. Now we're
Illegal
backing up
substitution.
A lot of confusion.
What's
here
going
right
on
now.
here?
Now we're going to back up 5 more yards. The boys just need to keep their composure right now. Keep your composure, keep your poise. Let us be nervous for you up here in the booth.
You're doing a good job for everybody,
Oh,
Todd.
I'm doing fine. I'm on my, I don't know how many lifesavers, but it's been a long time since playoff football came to Alumni Stadium, and this has been an entertaining and very emotion-filled game to this
So
point.
Jones looks like he's going to punt it, but he has trips to this side. He rolls. He does kick it.
Oh, that
it's
was a
gonna
good coverage
hit.
ploy. Cover it, boys.
Get it. It's going to be down at the 2. Huge.
Now,
Huge play.
special teams. Now, you just down to punt on the what?
The 2-yard line.
The 2. The 2. All right, I said it again. 6:04 to go. You got to pin your ears back. And obviously, you don't. They may try something big. And we've seen big stuff happen out of end zones this year.
Well, let's think about this, though. A penalty in the end zone is a safety.
Yeah, so's a sack. So,
Hootie has trips to the right. He'll keep it himself and run forward
And
to get
get too
across the
much.
5. He's going to be driven backwards and taken down rather inhospitably. You don't get to use that word too often. He got 4. 2nd and 6.
nice play.
He has room to operate now, though.
He does. Huntington, right now, not a huge sense of urgency. Down 13 with 5.5 to go. They're in the huddle and their play clock's down to 10 seconds.
Miller all by himself against Turner up at the top of the screen.
No
Trips
big
to this side. Now they're going to back off and give him safety help. Hootie looks over the middle, in and out of the hands of number 22, Drevin Zook.
And that stops the clock with 5:15 to go, and we got a 3rd and 6. Huntington on their own 6-yard line. And
You talked about pinning your ears back and going.
we have to
Now
do
be
it.
the time to do it.
Got to stop 2 plays. Need to stop 2 plays.
Well, they need to stop this one. I don't think they'll go for it on 4th down from here.
Maybe with 5 minutes left, they won't.
Same formation as the last play. Hootie looked this way the last time. Let's see if he looks. Now he sends a man in motion. Handoff.
Counter.
Stopped short of the 7-yard line. Andrew Finkel, now a big call. 4th down. What do you do?
You know, Tyler Bumbarger's a 10th grader, and Doug, our AD, had told me-
Timeout. Huntington.
Doug had told me that Tyler Bumbarger, Bummy as Doug called him, was an excellent prospect and only a 10th grader, and he's a dandy. I mean, the Troy game, we really didn't see him. We started seeing him like at the Bishop Carroll game. 7 plays over 20 yards. So Bald Eagles
What
had
is he telling you?
Well,
What does he tell me?
well, he's telling me, Steve, because he actually met me when I was 9 days old.
I see.
It's one of those
Okay.
deals. It's a Port Matilda Hill District
I see.
thing.
All right.
Okay.
All right, fine.
So Steve
I'm not
Steve's wanting
territorial.
to know why Ron Bracken, the
Ron
legendary
Bracken.
sports writer for the Center Daily Times and the publisher of several award-winning books, is passing the stats on to me.
I'm
I
standing
had a-
right here.
And
You
Steve's
can't
standing
miss
right
me.
here.
I'm not a thin man.
Okay, Steve, you'll get over it. After all, you're half responsible for this game being on the air tonight. With 4:57 to go,
Under 5 left to go. It's a missed, I guess. A little bit heavier than a missed out there.
yeah, I can barely see it. I guess looking into the lights.
Well, if you
can
look
see
over
it.
at the lights that way, there's no wind.
Steve, I think
They're going for
yeah,
it.
their season. It's your season. It's high school football.
Here's what I don't get.
Are they going hard count? What are they doing?
If you give this away now, they're going for Miller. Picked off by Turner, and he'll roll into the end zone. Touchdown, Bald Eagle area.
Steve,
Game, set, match.
Steve, don't celebrate too early. It's 40-21, but I will tell you, Nick Turner on the pick six as a senior in the last 5 minutes of his last game at Alumni Stadium. And you know where he was headed with that football, Steve?
He was going to Port Matilda?
He was going to Mansion Park. He was headed, we're on the end zone, and Nick Turner took that thing to the pylon, and he was running toward Mansion Park. Kind of like Forrest Gump ran through the end, but Nick didn't keep running and take that thing the whole way to Altoona.
Van Sice to kick the extra point. It's down. It's up. It's good.
Steve called it good. The officials disagreed.
It looked good from here.
It's now a 19-point Bald Eagle lead.
3 scores.
3 scores.
Here's what I don't get. You turn the ball over. Just say you don't throw a pick six. You turn the ball over at your 6-yard line. You punt the ball down the field. You have 5 minutes left in this game.
Correct. And you still at that point had all your timeouts.
What are you thinking?
Steve, I don't know what you're thinking, but I'll tell you that Nick Turner got a pick six with less than 5 minutes left in his last game at Alumni Stadium. It's been a great team effort. I was really shaken up when our mistakes, uncharacteristic mistakes, put them back in the ball game in the third quarter. Steve thought that Shane was going to have to get the paddles out for me, like we did here when the Tyrone curse ended on September 28th.
I was just amazed you didn't cry that night.
But I know you said Nick Turner. You thought I was going to say Port Matilda. No, when we're looking right now, we're 4 minutes and 47 seconds for our first trip to Mansion Park since 1993, and we are facing the Mansion Park end of Alumni Stadium. Now, granted, Steve, Mansion Park is 48 miles that way, but it is that way, and that's the way we are headed. What do you do in this kickoff, Steve, other than cover it?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. This would be the time for Van Sice to just unload on one and leave it dangling down there about the 5-yard line. You don't put anything in the air.
I thought you were going to call the onside kick just to seal it, but no.
I think you just –
your
clock is your best friend, and so is field. Now they're switching sides over here.
Yeah, but that's fine, and
don't let it go out of bounds.
Well, it did.
It
had a mind of its own, Steve. It went out, but they take over on the 35. We just need to avoid any big plays. Keep people in front of us. 40-21.
There's a bit of a swagger now with the kids on defense as they go out there. That's a little nervous.
Well, let's take a look. You know, it's been a. Are we going to have him kick it again? Oh, he's looking for the big play. He's looking for the big return.
He's going to make him kick it again.
So they would have started on the 35. So, Steve, I'm with you. I'm looking at this corner trying to hit it down about the 15.
Well, you just wanted to sit down there and spin.
Right. And I understood that. Huntington desperately needing a big play here.
You want to get it. You want to drill it so that it's past the 40 on a line low, like a worm burner on a golf course. You want to hit like a 3-iron down there.
Steve, you know a lot more about golf than I do. My last golf outing was then called Bland Park. Now it's Del Grosso Park, and I was 9 years old, and I threw a ball and fit because I kept powering the ball like out onto the old highway. I haven't golfed since. I fish. You golf, I fish. That's fine. They would have started on the 35 here, Steve. Now let's see if they start better than their 35.
Well, this will be another thing to second guess, and I would recommend people getting the Huntington Daily News tomorrow and reading all about the questions to Coach Hootie.
And that's a fine kick.
That's going to kick and slide.
That's about right where
Finkel's
they would have
got
had
it.
If we stop it.
He's got a wedge. Now he's going to be tackled at the 42.
And they picked up 8 yards, 7 or 8 yards. 4:39 to go. The defense has to keep people in front of them. Let's count them, Steve. Let's watch it. And Jaden Jones, is he staying on the field in defense in deep center field?
He is.
So you've got Dylan Beisel. You've got Ethan Moore up front. They're the seniors. You've got the juniors, David Close and Asher Burkett. Back here in the backer crew, you've got Blake, the senior, Nate Hoover, the junior, Bummy, the sophomore, Cale Gardner, the senior. You got Caden, the junior, over here. You got Nick, a senior, over there, and you got Jaden, deep center field.
Hootie,
throwing.
3 steps. Steps forward. He's going to get tackled eventually, but he carried 2 tacklers with him and gained about 8 yards.
He did, but he did not get a first down. Huntington's going to have to go really, really rapid fire, hurry up because the clock continues to run. They have 2 timeouts left. This next step's going to come with under 4:15 to go. Just keep playing hard, boys.
Quick snap.
Oh, Kale tipped that ball
Tipped
downfield.
away.
We have an incompletion. Huntington's now got a 3rd and 3 at their own 48. You see Kale got his hands on that. It was flying wild. We need to stop 2 plays, Steve. And then I'm not sure what I'll have to say other than that.
Shane, next year, I know you'll be gone. We need to get an in-booth camera when
It's not
Warner's
that.
here with me.
It was worse when the black and orange horse
It's only going to get worse the closer we get to it. 3rd down.
These Eagles are facing Hootie, and they're looking
3rd
in the
and 3.
direction of Mansion Park.
Hootie has 2 to the far side. He'll roll that way. Under pressure. Steps up. Flag down. And he's down. Loss on the play of about 5. Are they going to get defensive holding here?
Who are they going to get? Are they?
It's in the spot where it would be defensive holding.
I think it. Well, it was a procedure on them. We're probably going to decline that and make it 4th and whatever.
Too many men in the backfield. That
was a fine
declined.
Sack. I saw
and now it is 4th down and 8.
Who was credited with the last tackle? I saw Ethan Moore and Dylan Bison in there, but I thought the whole front 4 was in there.
What threw me was where the flag ended up. You'd have thought the guy on the side would have thrown it straight down as opposed to where it was thrown in the middle of the field.
What bothers me is it stopped the clock. So
4th down.
now what?
Timeout.
Now he stopped the clock.
Official timeout.
He put the flag back in his pocket.
Well, I think he dropped his
It's
whistle.
4th and 8, and you would think if we stop this play,
That would be ball game.
I would hope that they start getting the.
Hootie.
There's a hole
Under
that they didn't
pressure.
get.
Steps forward. Cale Gardner knocked the ball down.
Cale
Turnover on downs.
It's a turnover on down, Steve, and now I'm pretty confident that the paint crew out on Logan Boulevard in Altoona can get the blue and gold paint out to paint the home locker room for whatever night, and it would probably have to be Friday because Bishop Guilfoyle's there Saturday night next week. Whenever we're going to show up there, they have the next 6 days to get the home locker room.
Ron Bracken's coming to talk to you some more. 3 minutes and 51 seconds left to go. Eagles will take over on downs at the 43-yard line of Huntington. Jaden will be the quarterback. Roberts is his running back. They bring Turner in motion. They give it to Roberts. Roberts sidesteps a man. 40, 35, but he went out of bounds.
I'm okay with him going out of bounds there, Steve. Normally I wouldn't be, but I'm up here just kind of catching my breath, having a good time.
You and Ron have a nice chat?
Ron Brackett and he wanted to know about Bald Eagles' last trip to Mansion Park.
Okay.
It was 1993. I don't want to slight anybody here, but I know that Tommy Snyder's dad was on that Bald Eagle team. I do know that the last time we had a home playoff game here and ended up winning the district title, Tyler Hilgar's dad was on that team, and Jaden Jones's dad was Bald Eagles' quarterback in that win here 30 years ago, and then in the district title win 2 nights after Thanksgiving.
Jones, hands-on ball,
Jack
Weibel. First down. No, sorry, check that.
That was a fine Zach Weibel run.
I saw the back one, not the front one. It'll be 2nd down and about 3. Now if you're Huntington, you start burning your timeouts.
No, if I'm them right now, I start warming up the bus. It's 40-21. I'm serious. Now, why would you? It's if it was 40-34, I'd be burning timeouts. There's 3 minutes left. You got multi-sport athletes out there. So
Jones waits for the snap.
I'm thinking that way for either team.
Weibel,
A good run.
first down.
He holds the ball.
Inside the 20. Clock will run as soon as they reset the chains.
One more, somebody yelled. I'm with you. We want one more because we are driving toward Mansion Park. If you run far enough through that end zone that we're looking at right now, you'll end up at Mansion Park. That's out at Beale Avenue and 6th Avenue and Logan Boulevard in Altoona, Steve. I haven't been there in a long
10 seconds
time.
left on the play clock on first down for the Eagles inside the 20-yard line. They bring Turner in motion. Jones gives it to Weibel. Weibel sidesteps a man, still on his feet. He'll get inside the 15. Clock running.
I'm really glad he's getting playing time. Now are they burning the timeout or is Bald Eagle? Bald Eagle.
Timeout by Huntington.
Okay.
Maybe they're diesel buses. so they need
Steve
to
says
let
they
them off a
have
little bit
diesel
more.
buses. I don't know what they have, Steve, but I know.
You're the one who said they should start the buses.
Absolutely. They should 19, and and I'll be the joke if you see a 20-point comeback here. That could happen. I've seen nutty things happen in high school football.
Well,
nutty things.
I think we're going to see a steady dose of up the gut.
But they're a great program. I mean, they're the winningest program in District 6 history.
Oh, I don't dispute that at
They've
all.
they've been to the finals
steady
10 times. We haven't been there in 25 years. We've been there 3 times. And you know what would be ironic, assuming we don't see some kind of a miraculous Huntington comeback, what would be ironic would be if B.E.A. and Westmont played next week. Westmont's only been to the district finals 3 times, and their heyday was in our era of heyday. They were there twice in the 90s. They won their only district title in Class AA in 1989. We won ours in AAA in 88. So 2 programs, one of them against the face of history and tradition here tonight. That's Bald Eagle facing Huntington, a program that is 5 wins away from their 700th win in program history, and they're not going to get any closer to that tonight.
Straight up the gut with Weibel following a blocker. He'll go forward. He'll be stopped short of the goal line.
Maybe.
Where's the whistle?
Steve, we're letting the clock run. There was no whistle.
Yeah, but in a pile like that, in a scrum like that, that's when the ball suddenly goes into Bearcat hands.
Right.
Now it is 1st and goal for the Eagles with 2 minutes and 16 seconds left to go.
Well, the clock's running.
It just started. I was looking at the screen on our monitor. Weibel's getting the ball again because
Sure
he leaned
is.
forward. He'll get close. Is he in? We're waiting on a call. They say 2nd down. We're okay with that.
Well, I'm okay with that. They still have a timeout left. Keep the clock running. Okay, it's running. That's good. Play clock hasn't started yet. We have 1:45 to go.
Now do you give the ball to Weibel? He's brought it this far. Do you give him his touchdown?
I give it to him. I give it to him constantly, and I keep Jaden way out of anything in the mix there.
Jones
Zach Weibel's
turns.
come in. He's looked
Weibel.
fine.
He should be in.
Zach Weibel has.
He is in.
Good for him. I am thrilled for that kid. I thought he played well last year, and he didn't get in a lot this year, at least on offense. Very sparingly on defense. It's 46-21 with 1:25 to go. We are going to Mansion Park for the first time since 1993.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely certain that we're going to Mansion Park, and if I'm still breathing, I will be there. Yeah, you never know, Steve. Tomorrow's not guaranteed.
That's exactly right.
But this football team is going to Mansion Park.
Okay, I'm going to look over your shoulder here to see if Van Sice makes this. Yes, he did.
And that's fine. A 47-21 lead for Bald Eagle. And the first time in 30 years, home playoff game, first time in 30 years, at least 9 wins in a season. We're gonna play in a District 6 championship game for the 4th time in school history. They've had District 6 championship games now for 34 years. We're gonna play either Westmont Hilltop, who's been really an upstart program this year like we have, or we're gonna play Forest Hills, who has a lot of emotion there. They've been to 16 District 6 championship games in the 33 years. That's incredible. The other historical fact about Forest Hills, the 2 guys considered to be the great coaches in Bald Eagle history, Ron Signorino, who was here for 2 years and lost 1 game in 62-63, and our buddy Gavin Stoker,
The coach.
would have both been Forest Hills guys had that district existed when they went to school. They were Beaverdale guys, which was the borough or the powerhouse athletic part of what's now the Forest Hills School District. So, Coach Stoker, you're up there, buddy, and there's a lot of folks here in the stadium tonight that knew you well, and I know he's probably rooting for Forest Hills tomorrow because the man would have dreamed of taking his Eagles to Mansion Park to play the
Well,
the
one
Forest
thing
Hills
about
Rangers.
Forest Hills, they are green and yellow, which means they look a lot like the Packers.
Well, here's why. The district was a great point, Steve. And their quarterback wears number 12 and looks like Aaron Rodgers standing out there.
Live ball. Who is that? Is that Zook? Doesn't matter. He's going to be stopped at about the 40.
Yeah, Mike Lefebvre, Brady Proctor get their nose into a hit with 1:17 to go in the ball game. But get this, Forest Hills is roughly 10 years younger than Bald Eagle as a district. Green and gold, Rangers, Forest Hills. Who's the powerhouse in the 1960s? The Green Bay Packers and Vince Lombardi.
They went through 2 years ago a similar addition to their school district that we did here under Dan Fisher. I got to meet the superintendent out there when I was working out there. Similar style to Dan. Watched every penny, watched every nail, watched everything. It's a very similar school district. Hootie's got time. He'll step. Incomplete.
Steve, you said it. They're very similar to us. I mean, demographically, you look at that school district and you can set Forest Hills. Westmont Hilltop's a little different. That's like a mini state college suburb type school district.
That's
as
up
we've
there
talked.
near Sunnyhanna
Forest
Country
Hills,
Club.
Forest Hills kids, no matter where they're from out there, would fit in very well in Clarence or Snowshoe or Port Matilda or Howard. And they're the favorite. You know, obviously they're the favorite. That guy coaching there is the only coach you've ever had, and he's been there 44 years. So that tells you that school district is, 15 years or so younger than Bald Eagle.
They have a great ice cream stand right off the property of the school.
Well,
Hootie wasn't looking forward to that. Finkel turns, goes upfield, and it'll get about 5.
We have a
as
lot
the
of young
clock
guys.
runs.
And Steve,
We're
here
under
you
a
go.
minute.
Now, we have a minute to go. Steve, you can say all the kids are getting in the game. Today, I want to just share this with you, Steve, and anybody else who might think this is kind of hilarious. I gotta share my text exchange at 1:22 this afternoon.
Under
Hootie's
pressure, sidesteps a man, rolls to his left, looks, throws, in the air, incomplete, broken up by number 19, Trey Foster. Hey,
Okay, Steve, here's a text. At 1:23 this afternoon, I finally had enough of waiting, and I texted the coach. I said, have your boys arrived at B.E.A.? And he sent me a bunch of pictures of them all, like in a social environment, in a classroom or cafeteria. And then I reminded him, this is your seniors' final game at Alumni Stadium. When they have their 20th class reunions in 2044, because that's the class of 2019, they need to make sure they remember tonight with great stories and memories. And I was really concerned about that for a while. And then we retook a bigger lead on the long pass.
flag down on the play against Huntington.
And here we are. 38 seconds to count off the Alumni Stadium clock.
Well, we talked about everybody getting to play tonight, and I told him if he was on the field and I got to call a game, I would let him know what his nickname is. As Hootie looks to throw the ball, sidesteps a man. He's going to go way down the field. He's got a man open. Closing is – it's a touchdown. Garrett Green almost stopped him, and I told Garrett I was going to call him, let him know what his nickname was, but he didn't make that play,
Well,
so he's going to have to wait
and
till
they
next
never
year.
quit. They never quit. So it's
No, why would
47
they?
to 27. The young guys get in the game, and they're kind of moping and hanging their heads a little bit, but that's fine. They're all in the game. I see young Hunter Snowberger out there, Brady Proctor, Mike Lefebvre, Garrett Green.
Garrett did not get to play a few weeks this year because of the
Stover. I think
concussion.
Zach Weibel's out there. I'm looking for jersey numbers on the far side.
They look to kick the extra point instead of going for two.
Yeah, so
Snap is down. The kick is up.
I think that's wide.
No good.
That's very appropriate. So
24 seconds left. 47-27. Anticipating an onside kick.
I would let them recover it. Nobody gets injured. Nobody. They're not scoring 21 points in 24 seconds, Steve. It didn't happen. So here we go.
That must be for you. You're really going to take that on the phone, on the?
No, I'm.
Because that's the kind of thing Doug Dyke would be doing. Okay, go up to the top. Now hit there. Hit that. There you go. Okay. All right, I'm going to say this, Ernie. Sometimes I miss Doug. There, I said it. I may have a fever. Anyway, we have time for a kickoff and hopefully a kneel down, and then it is celebration time. But a big thanks to the two donors who provided the B.E.A with the money to broadcast this tonight, and so that the kids that are going to celebrate this victory have something to keep on their, who knows in 25 years how they'll store this. You know, they can keep it on their phone, they can keep it on their.
A lot of classes may not have class reunions in 25 years. I mean, that kind of tradition has really kind of dwindled as we become a global world.
I don't know. I had a good time at mine this summer.
You what?
I had a great time at mine
Well, I
this
had
summer.
a good time at my last one, too. But, you know, the point of that being, Steve, 25 years flew by for us in no time. These guys, there may be two guys out there in that field, you know, that are in this booth in 25 years doing what we're doing tonight.
Well, they're going to have to
it'd be a
push me
great
out of the
thing
way.
for them. Now, look at this. This is going to be entertaining, Steve.
Where is it going?
The Scout Special Teams. Coach Murniak would be proud of that.
Nice job.
Who smothered that onside kick, Steve?
There's a flag. Who is that?
64 snagged that ball, Steve.
That's Colton Wolf.
Colton Wolf did a fine job. He fell right on that.
And there
That
should be
took
15
1
yards
second.
added to that play.
Now, this is interesting. You're putting, I think we're going to give the seniors one last snap on the field. We're going to take a knee.
So the ball will be very deep in Huntington territory as we have 23 seconds left. It's 47-27. If you just joined us.
Nate Hoover's all alone out here, Steve. So,
Well, I don't think Jaden Jones is going to throw the ball.
well, I would hope not.
That will leave a bad taste in a lot of people's
Yeah,
mouths because he's under center.
Yeah. All right.
There you go. I think
Shake
that might be
hands.
it.
As I said, I'm thrilled that that's who we played tonight. 47-27 will be the final.
Eagles with a victory.
The last
historic
Bald Eagle playoff win,
Game
Steve.
for all of us.
Jesse Nagel was a 10th grade special teams player who threw an enormous block that sprung Mike Maney on the kickoff return that ended up being the margin of victory at Brookville.
It's always wrestling with you, isn't it?
Well, Jesse
Mike
didn't
Maney.
wrestle.
No, Mike
Jesse
Maney
played
did.
basketball. Well, Mike Maney did.
Yeah.
Well, I can't help he got the so that's how long it's been, you know. 21 years ago, I remember riding home on I-80 from Brookville. 7th seeded Bald Eagle knocked off number 2 seeded Brookville. The next week, we lost at Huntington on the fake field goal for a touchdown in the mud. And that Huntington team went on and had a really good postseason then. So we're going to Mansion Park. We don't know when. Doug Dyke will keep you posted, I'm sure. If I find out, I'll keep you posted.
Follow Bald Eagle Athletics on social media. There'll be stuff on the website. There'll be stuff on Facebook. There'll be stuff on Twitter, etc.
I will say that if our coaching staff goes to Cambria County tomorrow night to scout or watch the Westmont Hilltop Forest Hills game, they will see contrast in styles, and they will see a home team not playing on their home field, you know?
But there'll be a big, sweet royal blue and orange R in the middle of the field there.
Yeah, correct. That is correct. And that's an interesting dynamic. Steve knows the details behind it. And there are contrast in styles, and there are contrast in traditions. So I'm already looking ahead to who we're going to play. And I'm saying, you know, I'm not going to predict who we're going to play. I mean, I may have called the upset had that game been in the mud on the natural turf, but now Forest Hills is a favorite. They've won 7 straight games. We got the top seed by 20 points over them. Both teams ended up 8-2. Our strength of schedule, and you can look at it, slice it a bunch of different ways. But early in the season, Steve, this Bald Eagle team beat Troy 50-6. They beat a Penns Valley team that was a very good team that nobody realized how good they were when we beat them in week 3. Penns Valley won 7 games this year.
I watched them demolish Bellefonte.
Right, and they did, and they demolished these guys too. And Troy won 6 games. Nobody before the season would have thought that those two teams, had either of those teams each lost one of the games they won, we'd have been the second seed tonight. Or had Troy only gone 4-6, we'd have been the second seed and we'd have been playing tomorrow. It was that razor thin. And I talked again about the Eagle pride and being a believer in playing in the class, enrollment class that you fall in. Bald Eagle last week, a couple guys hurt, lost a heartbreaker to Bellefonte. Bellefonte is enormously bigger than Bald Eagle. Bellefonte's a lot bigger than Huntington, too. I mean, they're 68% bigger in male student enrollment than Bald Eagle. In 4 years, your buddies in Bellefonte will be twice the size of Bald Eagle. Doesn't mean Bald Eagle can't beat them, but that means a program like that should have more depth. Now, for the 7th week in a row, we've played somebody bigger than us. Here's the crazy irony. If we play, no matter who we play next week, we had 201 students, male students. Westmont had 200. Forest Hills had 198. They're the only two in districts. The 3 smallest schools in District 6 AAA are the 3 that are left standing tonight. So I know I threw a lot of stats, and I don't like to use the term stats, weird facts at you. But, Steve, I would like to hear you broadcast the line-to-line with the Forest Hills Rangers. The other ploy I would say, Steve, you pointed out bad weather tonight, and we had an iffy crowd, a really happy, vocal crowd, but we didn't have a really big crowd for our first home playoff game in 30 years. And I will tell you, especially if we play Forest Hills, those people will pack Mansion Park.
Oh, absolutely.
They will pack and stomp and bang. I'll tell you what, in 1985, Bald Eagle played Forest Hills here, the Doug Woomer team. Bald Eagle was 7-0-1, had tied PO the week before. Forest Hills was 7-1. Coach Stoker set a 2-year series up with what would have been his alma mater. That was when kickoffs were at 8 o'clock. They had 6 booster buses here at 5 p.m., and they're closer to Mansion Park by a few miles than we are. They will load Mansion Park. But we're going to Mansion Park, Steve. I hope they're painting the home locker room blue and gold, and we should be on the home bigger side bleachers there. So we need to pack the bleachers on whatever that date and time is, but I'm hoping and thinking it's Friday night because we already know BG's at Mansion Park on Saturday night next week. Steve, your thoughts? I'm sorry, I'm just excited.
It's fun to sit back and let you go, Todd. It's been an amazing year. We've had some technical issues throughout some of the games this year. It's been a learning process for this broadcast facility, realistically, because let's face it, brand new facility for us this year. Brand new broadcast team. I was forced to work with Dyke for one of the games. It was fine. It worked out okay. What's been a constant has been Shane. Thank you, Shane, for all of your help. Appreciate it. We'll miss you because he's going to graduate this year. Todd, I've known you since 7th grade. It's always a thrill to be with you.
Likewise.
Our thanks to the Eagle Ambassadors who provide this YouTube channel. Our thanks for the donors tonight who were able to step up, write a check so that we're able to broadcast this game to you. The B.E.A asked for $400 to broadcast a game. We got it on. A school 3 miles away didn't want to step up and pay for us to do this tomorrow night, which we'd have done free of charge.
They wouldn't do it, right?
They didn't do it. That says a lot about people who care about Bald Eagle sports, not so much for another school. There's a little bit of a soapbox. Todd, it's been a thrill to be with you this year. Doug Dyke, as always, A- job doing your job with getting this on the internet each and every week. It's been a thrill to watch this team from week 1 till here we are in November, watching them live to play another day next weekend. Stay tuned to social media so you know when these Eagles play. These boys deserve you to travel to Altoona next weekend and cheer them on because they're a special group of young people. That's going to do it for us. For this broadcast team, for Shane, for Todd, me too, Steve Miller, thank you all for being a part of this. Good night.